Merci beaucoup. My sons! My actual sons! Welcome. Welcome back. We are in a dark place right now as Arsenal fans. You join me from the bottom half of the Premier League. Unfortunately, for Arsenal fans, life has been depressing for quite some time. But this is your respite. This is freedom from fraudulence. Welcome, my sons, to the earliest edition of Late Night Fraudulence the world has ever seen, coming to you live from the Fraud Gang HQ, deep in the dark dungeons of a pandemic-stricken London, on this beautifully fraudulent Monday evening, where we have just witnessed another absolutely insane weekend of Premier League football. So, get yourself some snacks. Drinks at least. Pop the headphones on if you so dare. This does actually come with a warning. Join me on this footballing journey as we bring you the hard-hitting home truths from the beautiful game. But first, my fellow frauds, let's spare a moment, because these are, of course, turbulent times. I hope you are all doing as well as possible. I hope you're all looking after each other, because we're all we've got, people. We are all we've got. Raise your espresso emojis or your drinks themselves and join me in saluting you. You. Yes, you. Your massive lump of fraudulence. Now, I know how difficult this time is for so many, so we are here tonight to offer a little escape, a little respite from this fucking relentless bombardment of bad news. It is also, of course, your opportunity to discuss the biggest games with your favourite YouTuber's favourite football YouTuber. I see you! I see your ass! I see it! It is so fucking fraudulent. You can't miss it. You know, I do really wonder how you are doing. I feel a connection with the subscribers, with the Fraud Gang. The Fraud Gang Members Club is a truly global gang. Let me know exactly where you are watching from, and we will do some global international shout-outs. My fraudulent friends, for now, though, I want to see in the comments who's on Fraud Watch. And of course, if you want to get involved tonight, all you got to do is smash the hell out of the like button, you freeloading fraud. Yeah. Let me know if you prefer the late night fraudulence slightly earlier. I'm trying to get more UK callers involved, so this is, of course, your opportunity to get involved in the internet's favourite football phone-in, the late-night phone-in for the true baller, the late-night phone-in for the real football fan. Get in the Discord. Join the queue. Give us a call. Let's have a little chinwag. Links are in the description box below. If you don't know what you're doing, someone will guide you along the way. Maybe we've got some Liverpool fans in the building who've given up hope. I want to hear where all the Klopp in fans have gone. I'm seeing a few who are losing faith with a manager who's brought you your first title in 30 years. It is something we need to discuss. Maybe you're a Manchester United fan and you've not given up hope. I'm not sure there are many of those left, but hopefully there is someone out there who has not given up hope. Who is on Fraud Watch? Maybe you're a Manchester City fan and the rest of the Premier League is on Fraud Watch, because it does seem that you will be celebrating another title under Pep Guardiola. Is it in the bag already, or are people jumping to conclusions as per usual? Arsenal fans, Mates, if you have to ring up, right, just make it quick, because I could do without talking to you, if I'm honest. You're all a bunch of massive frauds anyway. And you asked for this. What is that? Is that Shadow? Yeah, it's Shadow. It looked like I had a bit of makeup on there. Wow. Yeah, Arsenal fans, sort yourselves out, mate. Ring up if you've got something actually constructive to say, yeah? Because usually you're talking a lot of nonsense. Some of these Arsenal YouTubers, oh, wow. Oh, what have I done? Oh, you my offspring. Do you understand how much of this is on my back? Wow. 1,000 little mini-me's, all under one roof, all talking a load of smack and drivel about my club. Oh, yeah. Let's talk. Let's talk. Get into the Discord. Join the queue. Because this is the People Show. Whichever club you support, wherever you're watching from, there is no discrimination here from me, at least. I know the chat can be a little bit fraudulent sometimes. It doesn't matter if you don't support a Premier League club either, if you support a Championship team. Maybe you support, I don't know, Livingston, Hamilton Academic. Oh, they got an amazing draw against Rangers. Let's hear from one of their fans. Let's go in! Football Donnies of the world, where art thou? Real Dons, yeah? I don't want to hear from any fraudulent Dons who watch the highlights or just look at the scores and go, oh, this is, oh, yeah, oh, Pep, oh, yeah, Klopp, oh. No, we don't, none of that, yeah? This is the home of hard-hitting home truths. Welcome, my sons, and there is so much to talk about. Like I said, let's do some shout-outs and see exactly where the fraud gang are watching from. We have got, where have we got? We've got Harrogate, Wembley, Romania in the building. The Hadji family is strong. Huh? Bristol, Oxford, the home of all the best students in the world has ever seen. Huh? Real student Dons. Jeez. Leeds, baby. Oh, yeah. Let's talk. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about this style of play. Oh, his style of play. He's got to change his style of play. Oh, never survive in the Premier League. Oh. Let's talk. Huh? Let's talk. Gang, gang, gang coming from Newcastle. Newcastle United. Oh, wins. Huh? Free-flowing football. Huh? Goals galore. Oh, stop it. Steve Bruce. My actual fucking uncle. Wow. Get the bacon sarnies out. Extra brown sauce. Yeah? We're going for a fry-up early. Stevie, it's on me. Oh, he's treated us to a special. Let's talk. South Africa in the building. New York in the building. My toilet doing a dump. Really? Time Bandit? Really? The quality of this show deserves more than your fucking bog. Yeah? Please, welcome. With huge hands and espresso emojis, the newest member of the Fraud Gang Members Club, True Frauds! Anders, you're an absolute legend, mate. Much love for joining in and showing so much support. We have also got super chats already flying in. I will say a quick shout out to Lewis Flanagan. You're an absolute hero. Harry Thompson, can you fill me in on your sleeping pattern? Sleep, my friends. Sleep. Oh, sleep will get you killed. Yeah? Sleep will get you coming second. Sleep is the cousin of death. Sleep. Oh, you're wasting half of your life. Please wake up and smell the coffee. It's so good. It is so good. My God, it's so good. Taylor Scott says Liverpool better wisen up because Gerrard is with us, at least for a Champions League campaign. Rangers fans just waiting on a Europa League again. Sensational scenes. As Taylor Scott, I think he's a Manchester United fan. I'm not 100% sure, but we will be talking to each and every one of you who wants to get involved. Let's go through who's on Fraud Watch, because apparently his name is Jurgen. Oh, so many calls for Jurgen Klopp to be placed on Fraud Watch. We will be talking about that. Dominic Harry says Cedric should be placed on Fraud Watch. Jean says Arteta is on Fraud Watch. The whole Crystal Palace side could be on Fraud Watch after the performance that we've just seen from them against another against Leeds United in another sensational attacking performance. Intent, controlled aggression. We will be talking about plenty of that tonight. Evan McGee says United need to get their stuff together at the back. I'm currently looking into the Grand Canyon. Mihailo Milutinovic says, greetings again, Sir Hugh, my son. He says, do Arsenal need to sign a target man striker, Mitrovic, perhaps? No Serbian bias. Okay, I see what you did there. Mitrovic, in something we need to talk about briefly, in that West Ham's red card has been overturned. Souček. Quite ridiculous, wasn't it? It is good to see that they have had some sense there. Viral Rajaguru says, this is the home of football. Much love. Keep up the great work. If you are new to the stream, please do smash the hell out of the like button. If you don't know how this works, I will just inform you, Clark, now. 1,000 likes and we do an hour. 2,000 and we do 2. We double down. Yes? Double entendre. What? 3,000 likes, we go till 1 a.m. 4,000 likes and we go till 2. 24,000 likes and we don't sleep. Yeah? I don't know if my PC will hold out for that long, but you get the drift, yeah? Okay, fantastic. Thank you so much for joining me on this beautiful evening, and so much to talk about. And where do we start? Let's look at all the Premier League fixtures that have happened over the last couple of days. It's been another sensational game week, and I have to start here. The biggest game of said game week. It really has been the clash of the titans over the past few years, hasn't it? It's been Pep versus Klopp. It's been the mighty Liverpool back amongst the best, playing some of the most, I don't want to say free-flowing, but playing some of the most aggressive, fast-paced and physical football that we have seen. So good at winning the ball back, so high up the pitch, so good at using that front three in so many different ways, ultimately. Where is it all going wrong? Unfortunately, what we're looking at is a side who are completely out of sorts. Nothing like the side we have come to know in recent times. And ultimately, the blame has to lie somewhere. So we're going to look into it. But before we do, I'm going to sort out that fraudulent fire behind me. Mohamed Salah. Yes, indeed. The picture that you're looking in front of you is of a grown man, an actual grown man, who is screaming out like he's in pain, like he has been shot. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Do me a favour, please. Do me a favour. If you do have a Twitter, I want you to send me your best Mohamed Salah memes. Some of them will be featured later in the show. This man is not alone in, for me, a ruining part of football. Unfortunately, I've said my piece about Mohamed Salah before. He is statistically one of the most impressive footballers in the history of the Premier League. He's up there with the likes of Thierry Henry in terms of his goal-scoring record, at least per game. But stats, I don't give up about stats. You see, these are special ones. And there is something about this guy which is slightly fraudulent. I cannot lie. He has mastered the art of finishing from a certain angle. He's incredibly quick. They have utilised that pace, and he has improved drastically since, his time at Chelsea, even since his time in Italy, where for Fiorentina, I think it started to pick up. He's not alone in being an absolute flopping fraud, right? Diving of the highest order. These are 9.8s. How on earth is a grown man who goes to the gym fucking 5 or 6 times a week, sometimes twice, 3 times a day, going down like a sack of potatoes, like a fucking heavy bag, right? Dropping to the floor, flying down with your arms up in the air in agony. Embarrassing, absolutely embarrassing. But unfortunately, to the lesser of the law was a penalty. He's not the only one that does this. Lots of players have mastered it. Harry Kane, Jamie Vardy, Raheem Sterling has also got his own version. But it wasn't Mohamed Salah's fault, this defeat. The nature of the defeat will leave some confused, and so will the scoreline. 4-1, slightly deceptive. Who's on fraud watch? I'm coming for you. Okay. Big money spenders. Oh, they're talking about this is one of the best sides the Prem's ever seen. Oh, they're saying Van Dijk, best centre-back I've ever... whoa. Let's hold it. Hold the horses. Hold the horses. Let's calm it down. What have we done here? We've won one Premier League. First one in 30 years. For Liverpool fans, this guy, Klopp, he's going to be a hero forever. Real Liverpool fans will understand. I don't think anything matters afterwards, and a lot can be forgiven. But ultimately, the biggest token of appreciation from the fraud father himself, not that it really matters, but the biggest token of appreciation would have been coming if they had repeated the feat this year. This would have been the one that was more impressive. And what's happening is anything but that. I'm seeing players who I rate so highly dropping 2 out of 10s on a consistent basis. Who is this guy in the middle? Hold on a second. Let me get a picture up of this fraud. This man is on fraud watch, unfortunately. Unfortunately, bros. I want to see some names in the chat. Liverpool players who you believe to be slightly out of sorts right now, but this man came for me with so much high hopes of just seeing, you know, I'll be honest, I'm a football fan over everything. I just appreciate things done properly, the art, the silky skills, the first touches, the quality goals, the moves, the changes that managers can make, or the way that the business is done behind doors, the art of football, right? And this Don is has been one of the foremost proponents, especially at Bayern Munich, where he became something that I looked forward to seeing every time, even before the games, the warm-ups. He was great to watch. I don't even know who that is anymore. He looks like he's going grey. Is that grey hair, bro? It is. Hold on a second, bro. Hold on a second. Let me just switch it over for a second, please. Look, all right, everybody goes grey. I'm getting a couple myself. But I'm worried about this Don. I'm very worried. And I've started to think it's twofold. He's been part of, let's remember, one of the most electrifying sides that I've ever seen. Physically, they're, I think, probably the epitome or the very peak of what a footballing side has been able to achieve so far. Bayern Munich last season were just off the charts. Sprints per game, the amount of times they won the possession, and the distance away from their own goal that they're winning the possession, just greater than any other team by quite some distance. Always very interesting to see the numbers after that, and how they potentially dip. And what has happened here in my eyes could be that Thiago has come from this side where he is part of this incredible machine, an essential cog, really, Muller perhaps more so, but an essential cog, and he's moved to a side who are just half of what they have been. They look tired. They aren't right. They're walking! Why are they walking? Hold on a second. Oh, okay. And then it's twofold. Right? The other half is that, I hate to say this, but this is how it is, right? This is how it is. Hard-hitting home truths. Things work in cycles. Now, I like to think of myself as a little bit of a wordsmith, and you will read between the lines if you can. But things do work in cycles. Cyclical advantages can be had, and, you know, everything comes to an end because you can't keep doing it forever, or you just end up killing each other or killing yourself. The body has limits. I guess you could say they're tired. If you look at the amount of games that these guys are playing consecutively, eventually they are going to snap, especially when so much is being asked of them. The pace at which the game is played already is enough, and I reckon when you couple that with the fact that I genuinely believe if you come to the Premier League, your ability and your numbers will drop by 10, 20, maybe even 40%. That's happening to Thiago. That has potentially been the reason why Minamino hasn't worked and he's had to go to Southampton. Or is it something else? Is it also that... God, he's lost his head, hasn't he? He's actually lost his head. Have you seen the interview that Jurgen Klopp has done with Sky Sports after the game, where he not only is looking for a fight, he's actually looking for an argument with the journalist, but also incorrectly called him out and said that the gap was 13 points when in fact I think it's 10 and City have got a game in hand. It looks like a little bit of a heads gone moment. Let me know your thoughts. Can Liverpool claw this back? Because for me, I'm starting to think they might struggle to get top 4. Yes, struggle to get top 4. And as far as being recognised as one of the great Premier League sides, even though the achievements have been sensational, even though they ran City so close, the respect, I'm sorry, has to be going to Manchester City. It has to be going to Pep Guardiola for consistency. They've had a year off, essentially, and they are back to their best. Who else is on fraud watch, though? How else have they managed to actually dominate this Liverpool side like this? 4-1 is a bit of a mythical scoreline. One of the biggest culprits from the game is a man who's cost them a hell of a lot of money, and if I'm perfectly honest, hasn't really put a foot wrong in the majority of the time that he's been at the club. However, what happened yesterday is almost unforgivable. Let's just talk about the game itself. A 4-1 victory, as I say, a slightly deceptive scoreline. The game starts with Gundogan missing a penalty, a massive let-off. To be fair, I think it was a penalty. Fabinho is a sensational defender, but he was out of place there. A trailing leg that he just kind of kicked out through instinct. He couldn't help it. Sometimes you do that. You let people go past you and you use the trailing leg, but the penalty was missed anyway, skied over. But Gundogan made up for his mistake very nicely. Mad Muller will get to you, you absolute fraud. Don't worry, my son. Gundogan has been one of the most important players for Man City in recent times. He's Pep Guardiola's first signing and he's trusted him throughout. But Pep lost his head when he missed that penalty. I don't know if you saw it, but you would do. This, in terms of importance, is not only this game, this fixture, being the Premier League final of the past few seasons. This is not only the whole world watching, the whole football world watching. This is also that battle between Pep and Klopp. This is also history of Manchester City not being able to win at Anfield for, 16, 18, something like that years. Breaking ducks. This is what Pep does. He sets records. And he sets records and trends with a style of play that deserves respect. It's pretty football. It's been questioned, but yet again, he is finding the answers. It wasn't only the penalty, because even though that did change the game, obviously Gundogan's made up for it very quickly. We then moved to Mohamed Salah's penalty. I mean, we've talked very briefly about it, but in my eyes, Ruben Dias did make a mistake. His first touch is poor. It lets Mohamed Salah in. He's goal side, and the defender needs to use that arm or two to try and get his body back in front of the ball. Salah's clever. He's gone down. The way that he's gone down is embarrassing, right? It makes you look massively fraudulent. But he's gone down. And I don't think it was a red card either, because I think Stones is there. But it's fraudulent. I wish referees had the guts to say, do you know what? That is not happening. That is not happening. Because I'll tell you what, I hate to say it, if that is you know, another team's player, I'm not so sure they get a penalty. Regardless, we move. The second goal was another Gundogan goal. This time, Phil Foden is the man that we're going to have to talk about. Now, plenty of people have been jumping on this Phil Foden hype train. I hate to tell you this, lads. There's no bloody room, yeah? You're all too late. You've missed the train. You've missed the boat. The ship has sailed. Unfortunately, this is one of my dons, yeah? Real dons, I can understand. I don't want to know your opinion on Phil Foden if it's needed this goal or this assist or the 2 goals, is it? Yeah, the 2 goals. No, the goal and the assist for you to come to the conclusion that this is a special player. Huh? Where? Who? What? No vision, 0 vision on your card. Okay, cool. I understand. No, I get it. See, some people think, you know, some people think this is easy. Make no mistake about it. He is playing in arguably the best side in, you know, I don't want to say the history of football, but that the Premier League has ever seen. That's a fact. That is debatable. It was not a fact, but that is something that you could put into it. You could argue that this is the best side the Premier League has ever seen over the past, let's say, 4 or 5 years, 4 or 5 year stretch. Now, he is working his way into getting regular game time or starts. How many games has he started this season? Let's just have a little look. Foden has played 17 games. I need more actual in-depth stats. Thank you very much. 11 starts. Listen, mate, 11 starts, 17 appearances in, 22 games for Man City this season. Look, mate, he's 20 years old. Put some respect on this child's name. Oh, mate, what are you talking about? Locking him up and banning him from England, from seeing birds? No. Invite more birds over. Yeah, treat him special. Give him gifts. Yeah, lay the red carpet out and fucking get on your knees and apologise, basically, because what you're looking at is, oh, mate, he's generational. If you've been on the channel, subscribe to the damn thing, yeah? Then you know already. This is elite true baller FC. It doesn't happen very often, and when it does happen, you get people who will credit the coach for transforming the career and the pathway of the player. Make no mistake about it. I don't think it matters whether Pep Guardiola was the coach or not. Yes, it certainly helps. It definitely helps. Come on, it can't not help. But ultimately, he is creme de la creme, elite. Elite is the 0. It's not the 1%. It's like the 0.001%. So he was going to make it anyway. He was going to force his way through. And you could see that from videos of the kid when he's 6, 7 years old, when he's twisted up the whole goddamn under 14 side. Yeah. The touch is sublime. Oh, mate. His dribbling is, God, is so, the close control. It's like the ball is stuck to his foot. The decision making is the key as well. His technique is obviously elite. You can see that the form is perfect, right? It's perfect form, but the decision making is what's going to set apart those players. And the speed of thought is unbelievable, and the fact that he has been able to maintain this level of consistency for a Manchester City side in the Prem, yeah. This is what I said, Thiago, bro. We've got to have a little word, mate. Those grey hairs, I think someone's getting to your head. What's going on? Get back on the coffee, bro. Yeah? You've obviously stopped drinking coffee. Now, look, what happens when you stop drinking coffee is you go through withdrawal symptoms. Yeah? You start to look weak. You sound like you're falling asleep. And you're playing like, who are you playing like? You're looking like drink water. Huh? No. But, bro, what's the difference right now between Thiago and El Neni? I mean, I never thought I'd say that. Jesus. These performances from Foden are of an elite standard. And the best thing about it is that he's English. He's doing it amongst a team of... How many English players are in that team, realistically? Let me just have a look. From the starting lineup from yesterday, we have got Foden, Sterling, and Stones. 3 players. Is there any English players on the bench? Doyle. You got 1, Doyle. Look, I'm not being funny or anything, right? But you've got to be special to make it here. They don't really, they don't really look like they care about anything but being the very best. I'm sorry to say this, but it comes with the ownership. I'll never forget this interview I've seen from, what's his name? Khaldoon. Yeah? Jesus. Oh. You could only dream of having owners who go on record as saying, we don't want to win. Yeah? We don't just want to win. We want to win everything, every year. Huh? Oh, stop it. Stop it. Imagine what that's like. Because right now what we're seeing is mentality merchants from last year. Let's not forget, mentality merchants, the ones who were unstoppable, have been undone. They've been undone. City have had a break. They've had a break. They've had a season off. Little breather. And it's back to business. Some impressive performances again from John Stones. Obviously, Raheem Sterling has been so instrumental in everything that City have achieved recently. He's another special player, obviously. We've talked about him. He's done his thing internationally. He's almost, it says here, £107 million market value. I'd say that it's got to be a bit more than that. 121 goals in 287 games, sorry. And plenty of people thought that he was a rip-off at £50 million, which has become the new standard. A standard set by Manchester City. These are low standards, though. This is a low standard. Low standard of morals FC. Sad times. What has Arsenal done to me? Look, I can't lie. If anyone puts a finger on me in the box, yeah, I'm going down. A finger. Yeah, that's football. That is football. What is that? What is this? What is happening here? Embarrassing scenes. Oh, good God. Oh, good God. Oh, God. This is why I don't do career modes anymore. I don't do career modes because every time I sign players and I show you the blueprint, yeah? Huh? You're ignoring me. Oh, okay. You're signing Aubameyang 6 years after the career mode's gone, bro. We're gone. The moment's gone. What are you doing? Huh? Is this man here more complete than anything that Arsenal have got on their books right now? I want to ask you this. The balance in Aston Villa's side is impressive as we move to Aston Villa 1, Arsenal 0. Wow. Again, second time this season. Wow. Aston Villa. All right. I keep having these questionable debates with friends about the quality of Arsenal's squad. I have racked my brains for the answer as to why I am so calm about the fact that my club sit currently in 11th place in the Premier League and have lost more games than they've won. Why am I calm? Why am I calm? Incredible. This is what my club has done to me. Do you know what's happened? This is the answer. Right? I have been beaten into submission. Okay? It is actually got to the point now where, and I hope people will empathise with where I'm coming from, especially Arsenal fans. It has got to the point now where, as much as I am totally invested in football and my club, and have been for God knows how long now, too long. The fact of the matter is, this club have drained me of all my energy. I am so used to being let down. And we have fallen so far that I've got little to nothing left. Now, I'm still in, right? We're still bleeding, right? It's still there, but it's withering away. The faith that something can change is withering away. I hope people can see this. So there is no real surprise then when you are being outplayed by teams like Aston Villa, who are rivals. They are rivals in the league. Look, they are rivals in the league. Incredible. They're actually 4 points ahead with 2 games in hand. Sensational scenes. A massive achievement in itself. But this is the worst that I have seen Arsenal. Worst that I have seen Arsenal. So we've gone from bad under Unai Emery. And it was bad. I don't want to hear anyone pretending that it wasn't, because attacking football wasn't actually awful. But defensively, it was a little bit of an issue, lads. Let's not beat around the bush. What's happened now is we've got worse. Right? And this is a situation in which we could really be taking advantage, because so many other teams around us and in the league in general are suffering. Yet, here we are, having been through all the, well, he's had 2 transfer windows now. I'm going to count that. Sorry. Your summer is going to be your 3rd transfer window. I'm hearing people saying, oh, he's got to have time, got to have windows, got to have time, got to have windows. That will be his 3rd window. Okay, 3rd window. Are we sure that we're going to have made enough progress in the transfer window to actually even challenge for the top 4? And then I started thinking, hang on a second. No. The side is okay. It's actually okay. I'm looking at West Ham. West Ham are 6th. They're flying under Moyes. Really hard to beat. Yes, he's got his ways. But I thought we'd gone past the art. We've lost the love with the art. We don't care about the art anymore. Morals have gone. It's plastic. It's winning, isn't it? By any means. That was surely Unai Emery. So, okay, now I've got to judge it against that, is what I'm thinking. Moyes is doing great. I don't want to single out Moyes, but what is the excuse? There is always an excuse, right? And now I've heard so many excuses over such a long period of time that being in 11th, I'm just sat here and actually taking it. I'm just taking it. No. What? Hold on. I'm confused. Is this the aim? To make people stop believing? I mean, time, right? Trusting the process. Okay, right. I'm sat here. I'm not going mad. I'm waiting for the next window, because that's what we're waiting for. This season looking like a write-off. However, had you done stuff against Wolves and got 3 points, we would have been in 6th ourselves. So it is fine margins. So now I'm looking at players. Who are these players? Players that are letting us down on a regular basis. I mean, look, this guy, fucking hell, awful scenes. Players, fucking hell. Is it the players? Is it Arteta? Is it the club? It's everyone. It's all of them. That's the fucking truth of the matter, isn't it? From top to bottom, shit show. Excuse the French, but Mikel Arteta, with no experience, is learning on the job and bound to be making mistakes. And the club were cool with that. They were cool with that. They were cool with a novice. They were just like, go on then, have a go. Yeah, we'll back you. Okay, fair enough, we're doing that. Expect a rocky road, and a rocky road is what we're getting. But 11th, my club are being dragged through the mud. They really are. And I'm seeing apathy everywhere. And I get it. Which is why when I see fans, Arsenal fans going mad, screaming and going nuts, I'm starting to wonder what's going on. It's like you don't get it. You don't get it. I get it. You get angry in the moment, but for crying out loud, lads, we've just got to sit down and have a chat, because really and truly, this has been happening for a long time. The free fall has been in place for a while now. 11th, and you're going. I mean, Olivier Watkins is one of the most complete strikers in the Premier League. He's got it all. He has got pace, strength, technical ability, finishing, I mean, awareness, the passing ability is actually not that bad. His combinational play with Grealish, the lovely stuff that they're doing with Barkley. They play football. When you see Jack Grealish, football dons, all my real football dons stand up. All the real football dons, yeah? When you see Jack Grealish get on the ball and you're watching your own club, yeah, your own players getting twisted up. He's leaving 4 players in the wake, in the mud. Don't tell me there isn't a little bit of you which enjoys it. If you don't enjoy watching this kid, then I don't know if you actually like football. I know he's having a lot of fun. I know that he knows, obviously, that the world is watching and he is entertaining us. Right? This is, you really got to appreciate this, because not everyone is like this, right? A lot of people, especially in life, they're gonna be El Nenis, right? They're just gonna be, even, I hate to say it, but Xhakas. They're gonna be good in fits, good in spurts. They do a little couple of nice things, but they do the basic stuff. They do the minimum, and they do what they have to do, right? He knows his job. He gets the ball. He's going to look for that pass. There it is. Put it in that place. There you go. Once you've worked it out, you don't have to be a fucking genius to stop that. This, right? This is art. Now, art is the essence. It is the true essence. It is the inside. It's the spirituality that you can't put a name on. There's no label on this. This is free flowing stuff. This is. Oh, it's magical to watch. It's not actually as productive as it could be, okay? But it's great to watch. And we need this, because otherwise you become robots. You become so predictable. You have one pattern of play. Fucking hell, mate. Are you telling me I've got level B FA? You can't try to mug me off and show me that you're doing something different. And when he did do something different, where is he? Massive fraud. Where are you? Fraud? There you are. My son. I really want this to work, bro. But the God's honest truth is that what this man did is criminal. It's actually criminal. No. We've got something going here. We've got something going. Pepe is actually just starting to show a little bit of life. He's got a new role. It looks like you've worked something out, right? He's got Saka on the right-hand side. Saka has actually claimed the role now. He looks dangerous. I think in the first 10 minutes, he had 3 shots on goal. 1 disallowed, 2 shots on goal. Hit the post or something like. Listen, the kid is special. He's another one. He's a very special talent. And Pepe looks like he can be a little bit more involved, I'll just say, on the left, right? I'm not going to lie, he does a lot of pointless things, Pepe. You're doing too... Listen, right, I'm not going to lie to you, bro. I really want it to work. But please stop doing all the stepovers. They're not even stepovers. Too many of them. Yeah? Get it. And just try something different. This is what I mean about Grealish, right? There is no predictability. You don't know what's happening, because I don't think even he knows half the time what he's going to do. He might have something in his locker, but he'll try something, right? And we need a bit of that. We need a bit of that from Pepe. We look at the rest of the side, the rest of the lineup for Arsenal, and oh, mate, this is what I mean about Arteta, right? It doesn't seem to have clicked in his head that Smith Rowe's been out of form for a few games. It doesn't seem to have clicked in his head that we've got a Real Madrid starlet on the bench, and he's played, 15 minutes, 12 minutes, and he looks like our most creative player. He's world above Smith Rowe, lads. I'm sorry, lads. He's a world above him. And there's no shame in that. He's been playing with Real Madrid dons or other top-level dons for 10 years. Please, come on. Stop putting all that pressure on the child. And then, what is this obsession with this fucking Brazilian don? What is going on here? You have put our best player, our most attacking outlet in Saka at left back. Left back. What's he doing at left back? Halfway through the game, it pissed me off so much. I'm not... Look, I'm not just saying this because, you know, this is... I've heard a lot of people talking smack about Willian. It really is a thing. And, you know, I believe that we've got a couple of kids who've got amazing potential. Smith Rowe is one of them. Saka, Smith Rowe, Martinelli, who is just fallen down the pecking order and doesn't seem to be able to get a single minute now, is a special talent. Why is Willian getting ahead of this Don? Huh? More importantly, why are you breaking up the flow of our football, which is actually going all right, by putting our most creative player in the fucking least... And look, the way that Arsenal play, ultimately, right, he ends up being involved in the attack anyway. So, look, there is that. But I just wonder about this force-feeding Willian into the side, especially when I see exactly what he offered during the game. Now, what I'm going to show you, right, is... Oh, good God, it's actually painful to look at. What I'm going to show you is a pass map. This is a pass map of two players. The first is going to be of Odegaard. Here we go. As you can see, these are both his completed and not completed passes. So... all pass attempts made in the, what was, let's just have a look and see how many minutes. I think it was about 12 minutes. Interesting, isn't it, that he doesn't think that he's ready or worthy of more than... It was 20 minutes. Okay, right. I'll give him 23 minutes in Odegaard. And, of course, we do have to look at Willian's version of the same thing. Now, of course, Willian came on later, but he had plenty of touches of the ball. And I guess that is because of how much Arsenal do play it down the left-hand side, which is why I was saying Saka was still involved, even though he's playing at left-back, right? Left wing-back, or whatever we're calling it these days. I'm looking at this, right? And I sent it to a friend. Who sent me a message back saying, that looks... like he plays at right back for the opposition. And indeed, you would think that this is a right back's pass map. I mean, what exactly are we looking at here? Because, in particular, I want you to take note of this one here, right? This pass here, this failed pass here. You will remember... This is, I mean, it's unforgettable. This is sensational stuff. You have a professional footballer. That's what we're calling him. Professional footballer. He actually plays for Arsenal Football Club. He has played multiple times for Brazil. Yeah? Brazil. Multiple trophies. Yeah? Wonderful career. I mean, you really could... say on his day he has put in some sensational performances. He's done some special stuff in the Premier League alone. Now, professional footballer, right, paid a lot of money to kick a ball and just run around with it, right? We've got to trust you with that because you've been doing it since you were 2 months old, right? Now, you've got 3 options on. 3 options. You know you're in a danger zone. You know, you're in your own... You're close to your box. Your only protection. Behind you, your only protection behind you is like, who is it? It's Rob Holding or Gabriel. You got one player supporting you. You look up, you've got two options, two other players on your team. Now, you can recognise players are on your team by seeing the colour shirt that they're wearing. They also usually wear a matching short colour and sock colour that will be similar, if not exactly the same to yours. It doesn't take a fucking genius to work out what side the player who's right in front of you is on. Two options, yeah? This one or this one. And you're doing through balls. Oh, wow. Weighted through balls to perfection as well. The weight on the pass of perfection. For the opposition striker, you love to see this. I mean, I've seen people claiming that this guy is actually an agent. If ever you wanted evidence, here it is. I'm wondering what he's doing, but more importantly, much as with the conversation we were just having regarding Arsenal Football Club, this is a hierarchical problem. It is not Willian's fault that is this fraudulent excuse for a footballer right now, at least, is being played on a consistent basis. It's the manager's call. That's his calling. And if it's not the manager's calling, is he being forced to play him because of some kind of contractual obligation? That is the club's fault. This is all the club's fault. And henceforth, we've got to look to the top. I'm so tired of looking at players and performances and mistakes from the likes of Mustafi or whoever else it was over the last few years. The God's honest truth is we've got to look to the very top. And until this club decide that they are going to change their ways, you're going to see the same thing. It's very simple, isn't it? If you want to do something different, you want to see a different result, you've got to do something differently. What we're doing, lads, is it's painful to see fans. I get so many people, they message me on Instagram, who do you think we should sign, or who are we going to watch? What do you think is going to be a good window? And oh, mate, I know they're feeling, oh, is it going to be, what are we going to get for Christmas? Oh, we're going to get for Christmas. I'm going to get the Xbox. What's the new Xbox? The new PS5. No, mate, you're not getting a fucking PS5, yeah? You're getting a book, right? Because you're a fucking delinquent, right? Yeah, it's time to read. It's time to up your knowledge, okay? There's no PS5. No special gifts for Arsenal fans. No, you've got to do hard work. You've got to do some grinding for once. You've got to get outside. You've got to get your soft little manicured, moisturised hands a bit rough. Yeah, get involved with the lower leagues or the lower half of the table where the rest of the fans have had, you know, their pain, their normality for so long. Newcastle, yeah, that's you now. Yeah, Newcastle. Levels. There's levels. If you have expectations and aspirations of being an elite club, you must do elite things in the transfer market. The way that your club is run structurally must be of an elite standard. And you think that Arsenal's... You're spending so much money. There's not even the excuse of, oh, you don't spend any money or you're not giving Wenger any money. They're spending loads of money. Not a clue how to spend it. Yeah? Now, look. It's fine margins, like we've said, in terms of performances, results, league positions and whatnot. If you're trying to make headway on these giants that these clubs have become, if you think that you can catch up to the likes of Manchester City, who are investing tons of cashish, freeloading, yeah, off the back of generational wealth, it's not even generational. It's like these are countries. If you think that Arsenal's owner is here to compete with that, then you're in the wrong business, my friend. What you need to wake up to is that this man knows that this is a self-sustaining, self-sufficient model. He's got to do sweet FA, except watch us rot and bleed us dry. The only way or reason that he's going to get off is if he gets a mad offer, and I don't think anyone's going to offer mad money for Arsenal because he's pushed it like these owners do to the stage where it's almost impossible to make money. Right? These clubs are being bought and used as assets to get great loans for other ventures, and I think Stan Kroenke is no different in that. And as a result, we've got to watch us getting outplayed by the likes of Aston Villa, who are clearly signing players that have created a balance and an effect that Arsenal just couldn't keep up with. Grealish, Barkley, I mean, even the likes of Cash, never mind Watkins or McGinn. Like, these are players who do jobs that Arsenal fans are convinced that their players can do, or at least Arsenal fans are convinced that their players should be doing, but they rarely do. In truth, I actually worry about Arsenal in the future right now, because if you have to throw money at the problem to solve it in the Premier League, and that really is the way that it's going, if you have to face what is, in my eyes, some fucking laughable officiating on a regular basis, and if you are determined as a business to, like, what is it, bite your nose to spite your face and all this, as Arsenal do on a regular basis by selling their own, or by not reinvesting, or by, you know, releasing youth too early. I put a thing on Instagram today. Have a look at this. Oh my word. Oh my word. The talent that Arsenal Football Club have let go in the past few years. I need to show you this. Hold on a second. Where is it? Someone send me a picture. It's got the list. Oh wow. The likes of Malen, who is worth about 50 or 60 million pounds right now. One of the most promising strikers in Europe. Gnabry, who is an international, solidified German international. Yeah, starts for Bayern Munich, Champions League winners. Please, it's painful to see the amount of quality that this club have let loose. But I don't want to take away from what Aston Villa have done. It's effective, and it should have been 2-0. Wake up, smell the coffee. Where is he? Grealish, I think, is the one who puts in Traore. Massively fraudulent Don. Although a really good signing from Lyon, Champions League football, former Chelsea Don. He's in clean, 1-on-1. Matt Ryan standing up tall and making a fantastic save, but ultimately that really should have been 2-0. Watkins, Olivier Watkini, yeah? Those who know, know. I'm never wrong! I want to see some hashtags. Where's these tweets as well? Much love to everyone who shared the stream. You're all massively, massively appreciated. I'm going to be following a few frauds that have retweeted the tweet. If you know, you know. For now, let's get into some of the super chats. There's plenty of comments and questions coming through. Next up on the list is going to be Everton against Manchester United. Manchester United against Everton. We will be talking about that. And then we will move into our phone-in section of the show. If you do want to get on the line, all you got to do is join the Discord. It's in the description box below. There's a little link. Click on that. Join the Discord. Get in the queue. If you don't know what you're doing, one of the mods will help you out. My sons, much love for joining me. Let's go to Super Chat territory. We have got names: Louis Flanagan, Harry Thompson, Anders, Taylor Scott, Evan McGee, Mihailo, Viral, Zlatan Made God, Smithswood Rookie, Chaunceford Billups, Inky Bram, Smithwood Rookie, Alex Holt, Mad Muller, Jexpo, and Sport Tongue and Alex Harris. All of you are massively appreciated. I'm going to go through each and every one of you right now in swift order, reverse order. Alex Harris says, Hugh, look at our next 7 games. We won't win 2. You're a massive fraud. You're a massive fraud. You don't think that Arsenal will win the next 2 games? I will have a look at the fixture list very, very quickly. Fixture list for Arsenal is looking like Leeds United is the next one, then it's Manchester City, then it's Leicester, Burnley, Tottenham, West Ham, and then Liverpool. Yeah. Well, I guess Arsenal, well, we're fucked, aren't we, really? I mean, great. Well, you know, I mean, good God. It could get hairy. It looks like it could be a little bit of a sticky one. That's thrown me a little bit, not going to lie. Lots of very difficult games. North London Derby, Liverpool, Manchester City. I'll worry about us playing the likes of Burnley right now as well. Anyhow, Sports Talk says totally agree. We would love to have you on our podcast. Totally agree with what? Not sure. Let me know. Mad Muller says, as soon as a player joins Arsenal, his career goes down. It is interesting with regards to injuries that Thomas Partey has not actually had one in his... I think he's had one injury in his whole career, and he's had 3 since he's been at Arsenal. Jexpo says, Ramos did Mo dirty and he became a cheat. Thoughts? Quite possible. Let me know your thoughts. Is Sergio Ramos responsible for Mohamed Salah's fraudulent activities that we have seen today? Mad Muller also saying some Arsenal fans comparing Foden to Saka. Well, yes, of course they're going to be compared. I don't think it's a fair comparison. Different type of player, but equally talented. Both very, very good. Very, very good. And no need to be doing that. He's better than he's better. You know, I mean, both special talents, undeniably. Smithswood Rookie says, Zulu wing of the fraud gang in the building. Jake Blues fan from Brum. The entire club are all massive frauds. 6 wins in 28. Thanks for Wembley 2011. Massively fraudulent comment from you. Who's this? Alex Holt says, Klopp keeps giving me Kevin Keegan vibes. We will be talking about a bit of Jurgen Kloppage, hopefully with some Liverpool fans in a bit. Inky Bram says, Thiago can't lace his Velcro shoes in the Premier League. God damn. Chaunceford Billip says, when I'm king, we have a guy on the sideline to give injuries commensurate with the dive yelp. Right. Yes, I mean, he's probably talking about Mohamed Salah flying through the air and diving like he'd been shot from afar, and perhaps having someone on the sidelines to help with that. I mean, I don't know whether we need anyone on the sidelines, mate. We've got fucking 55 cameras all looking at him flying through the air as he's being tickled. Yeah, if you're going down like that when you've been tickled, what is wrong with you? I mean, I just... You know, something perhaps needs to be done about that. It's very difficult, though, because by the letter of the law, that is a pen. He's through on goal. There's been contact. It looks like it's impeded him, and he goes down. Who else have we got? We've got Evan McGee, who says, smash the like button, you absolute frauds. We're on course. You're on course. We will keep going. Don't worry yourselves, but smash the hell out of the like button. You are, of course, massively appreciated for getting involved. And Zlatan Made God says, Jacques-Henri Elrod, the Olympique Marseille president, is on fraud watch. Let us know exactly why. He is often marred in controversy, this guy. But PSG... have actually, the PSG Ultras anyway, have had a banner in support of him. So maybe if you want to talk about that, give us a ring. We can talk about any kind of Liga and football if you like. Virai, mate, it is indeed the home of football. My son Mihailo says, greetings against... Oh, we've done that one. Okay, massive. We're all up to speed. Frog Gang in the building. If you're just joining us, we are about to get into Manchester United against Everton. Little bit of a chat about that, and then we will move into the phone lines. Well, what a game. Have we got any pictures here? We have indeed. I feel a little bit for this guy, but he does seem to do it to himself. Who is really to blame for Manchester United throwing away yet another opportunity to make up some ground on Manchester City? Is it actually over? Was it ever really on? What I'm actually very disappointed with is the mentality of Manchester United fans. I'm sorry to say this, but you're giving up too easily. Yeah? Way too easily. What an opportunity How many better opportunities will there be for United to get their hands on the Premier League title again? With so many other teams in just kind of disarray or in transition or with loads of injuries or falling off of the pace, out of the question. This team are heavily invested in and have some real quality amongst their ranks. We're seeing it. It has made people, even temporarily at least, believe that a club who are at the pinnacle of, what's been achieved in this country are back. What's happening is quite unfortunate. It's quite unfortunate, really. I've talked about Liverpool and how Jurgen Klopp's losing his head and how, the mentality that they were so recognised for seems to be so different and is kind of mirrored in the energy that they're showing on the pitch. It's been the opposite here. I think they've showed real willingness to work for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. What's happened for me is, again, slightly deceptive, because whilst he is continuously doubted, whilst you cannot hide from the fact that United are dropping points against side that they should be expecting to beat, he's actually being let down. He is actually being let down massively. And again, a huge opportunity has been missed to actually be in this conversation, because right now people are writing the league off. Right now people are saying it's gone. And there are still 40 odd more points to play for. I think, how many games is it? There are 16 games left. 15 for United. That's 45 points. 45 points. You are 5 points behind. Yes, they've got a game in hand, so it could be 8. But 45 points, and you've given up. Huh? The first sign of a challenge, and they've given up. And what's worse is that he might have been saying that as like a tactic. It might have been the managerial thing of, let's just remain the underdog so people don't expect too much of us, and we don't expect too much of ourselves even. What are you doing there then? You're the biggest club in potentially the world, or one of the biggest clubs in the world, right? And that's the mentality. No. More to the point, right? Not only is that a sign to me of that's cowardice. That's cowardice. Grab your bollocks, right, and go into war. Let's get some medals. Let's become the heroes. What's that about? Not only that, but that is mirrored in the stuff that we saw from De Gea. I mean, what is that? That's second-rate stuff. That's second-rate. Edison, awful. What's going on here? Huh? I'm confused. I'm really confused, because with Edison, at least, Alisson. With Edison, you've got a player who's set the standard for the ball playing, the passing skill of a goalkeeper. Alisson, I thought, was meant to be up there. He's had a nightmare. It does happen occasionally to everyone. Everyone's going to have an off day, but I mean, De Gea. There's off days, and then there's what is going on here. And we've seen this, what's going on here, a few times. And to me, that really did let them down. A lot of people pointing to Harry Maguire as well. The positional play of a man who should understand a little bit more, you would expect to be a little bit better. Look, the one thing that I'll say is, this is clearly him understanding his own limitations. I've seen, people, even like professionals, saying that this is all about him being worried that he is going to be the reason that something goes wrong. I think it's as much to do with him understanding that he is not quick enough to catch people once they've gone past him, and he is looking to get as much of a head start as possible. Now, is it totally his fault? I don't know. It's easy to point the finger, isn't it? But what I have seen, I think, from him over the past, it's a good it's a good year and a half now, is that there is a mistake there, right? There is a mistake there, but he has been part of an improvement in the side. Now, look, there's plenty of people that seem to think that it's Lindelof that's the problem. It's difficult. They definitely do need to get. They definitely do need another centre back, but I think they definitely do need to pay more attention to the goalkeeping situation. This is something that you're going to have to move on from this De Gea thing eventually. He's on an amazing amount of money, and he is one of the best, probably of all time. He's got to be up there when we look back at his career. But is it coming to an end? It is a poacher's goal from Calvert-Lewin, and an Everton performance that deserves a little bit more time than just to say that it's Manchester United's fault. I don't want to point the finger really at Harry Maguire. I actually think Harry Maguire's not that bad. He has, like I said, got mistakes in him, but I think they all have. James Rodriguez scored a beautiful goal. Where is he? Let's get a little picture of this Colombian fraud. This beautiful strike from the Colombian, and the work ethic, positional play and timing of the runs from Abdoulaye Doucouré is, I mean, it's top drawer. It's absolutely top drawer. I really do admire the risk that Ancelotti has taken in going to Everton. He can definitely transform the fortunes of that club for many a year to come, because players will start to believe that it's an option for them, whereby it hasn't been before. Europe does look like it is feasible, realistic, and Champions League football could well be on the horizon. I'm not a massive fan of some of the players, but the way that he's done it is worked. And when they're all fit, there is a fantastic balance, especially in that midfield. I'm a big fan of Allen and what he's done, so I hope to see him strutting his stuff out there again soon. But on the flip side, for Manchester United, I guess we got to talk about Bruno's goal. Bruno, the importance of Bruno cannot be understated. Another player who enjoys trying things. Trying is so important. Risks, so important. And vision, like not many others have got. I'm going to bring this picture up here of the position that he is in when he strikes the ball for the goal. Now look, I mean, the cross to Cavani is more likely. And had I not seen the instant replay, when you can see his eyes close up, I actually would have thought that it was a cross and it just turned into some like cross-come shot. He's actually looking for that top corner. He's seen that the keeper is, I mean, Olsen, mate. I don't know what's going on here. I don't know about this guy, bro. I really don't. I mean, was it McTominay's goal? Was it McTominay's header? Yeah, McTominay's header. He's just fallen onto the floor. I mean, even his positioning there is questionable, but it's a beautiful goal. It's a beautiful strike, and his stats are just unbelievable. I'm not going to say single-handedly dragging United forward or keeping them afloat, but he is a massive reason. And what I really like about him is not only what he's doing in terms of on the ball, but you can see he's like inspiring the other people around him. He has a one-on-one chat with, who is it? I think it's McTominay. And it's happening all over the pitch, actually. You've got Cavani doing the same thing with Rashford. You've got Bruno teaching Dons, yeah? Saying, look, you go there. Do this. Yeah? Try it like this. This is what I want. Yeah? You need that kind of leadership, or at least it really helps to make you not only to grow, but to solidify you as wingers. And people who are down to ride, yeah? You need soldiers who are down to ride. No shirkers, no people who aren't sure, who are thinking about contracts and all this, leaving, or what am I going to do with marketing? How much money can I make? Fuck off, yeah? People who are down for the cause. And you can see that up front they have got a guy who is down for the cause. Cavani is, well, he's a natural born winner to me. A worker who is not afraid to get his hands dirty. Physical, good finisher, and unbelievable movement. Oh, mate, I told you about this Don, yeah? Please, I need some fucking respect put on my name, because you lot are fucking clueless. You said he was finished. You said he was old. You said he was tired, crusty, and used up. Yeah? Free transfer, don't want him. 30 odd, blah, 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 blah. Where are you? Beautiful. Beautiful. If only for the focal point that he can add, for the lack of a reluctance of Martial up front, for the other options, for the depth in the squad, for the leadership, all of it. Good stuff. Expensive, but good stuff. However, at the end of the day, you've dropped 2 points, and that's going to hurt. However, I don't want to hear you're out of the... You're out, huh? You're the only ones that are left in. Do us a favour and make this season something by kicking on. Don't embarrass the league and yourselves by letting them walk away with this. The league is dependent on someone else picking up the pace and really giving it a go. Otherwise, we are going to be stuck. And look, fair play to Everton. They did not stop. They have obviously got the belief. I mean, Calvert-Lewin, man. Wow, what a season. What a coming of age for a player who no one really had their eye on like that. Don't be silly. He's done very well. Definitely deserves a lot of credit. As I said before, so does Ancelotti. You got to, if you don't already, you got to learn to love. Like, how much belief that is going to give Everton fans, I'd love to know as well. Let me know your thoughts anyway. Well, we will be getting into the phone section of the show. I'm just going to briefly go through the rest of the super chats. Let's do it. Michael Sheckles says, not a Chelsea fan, but Tuchel's tactics and pressing have exposed Frank's fraudulence. Let's hear from some Chelsea fans. Let me know your thoughts. I hope we get one on tonight, actually, because things have changed. A 2-1 win away from home against the Sheffield United side who've been doing okay so far, but did have some injuries, and we're not actually going to delve too deep into it because I expect them to be winning that, and the one against Burnley, hence the lack of video for that. But Terence Kirk says, Jordan Henderson, good player, not a legend, no way. Who of the Liverpool players is going to go down as a Liverpool legend? Will it be all of them for Liverpool fans? They have won the Premier League. I mean, that much is in itself should be enough to secure legendary status. There can be no denying, though, that when you see Trent Alexander-Arnold strutting around like he owns the place, which is fucking forgivable. He's been a teenager or a kid who's won it all at the highest level, from nothing to, you know, the homegrown hero who's actually brought the silverware back to the club after the drought. Of course he's going to be gassed off his own juice, but when he's running around, jogging around, just doing the chest out, you can just smell that these dons have just taken her off the ball slightly. Is Jordan Henderson a legend? I would say yes. I would say he is a Liverpool legend. Is he an elite world-class player? No way. No way. He's definitely been missed, though. There's no denying. If you could slip Jordan Henderson back into midfield, he's got much more direct passing. Liverpool are a much more dangerous attacking threat. They're much more physical. The engine room is ticking, and he's not going to let anyone slip around him. He actually, I think, has been getting a little bit frustrated by what he's seen from Thiago, and he has been trying to do his job as well. really didn't rate Jordan Henderson. I really didn't. But I've come to admire him. I have to be honest. I've come to admire him. I like that kind of ethic, that mentality that he clearly has. And, you know, it is without question, if I could translate that as an Arsenal fan and say, you know, if someone brought the Premier League, or someone, the captain, was part of the midfield, or who just played their part or led my club back to Premier League glory after 17 years even, never mind 30, they're an immediate legend. Just the same way as if Bruno Fernandes helps Manchester United to actually lift the Premier League trophy, he is a Manchester United legend, lads. That's how it works. People where I'm from consider Charlie George to be an Arsenal legend. Charlie George won one, if not two, trophies at Arsenal, and none of them were a league title, I don't think. I might be wrong, but I think he just won an FA Cup. Now, if you can win one FA Cup and be an Arsenal legend, right, there's no bloody way that you can win a Premier League title and not be. No. Right? Not having that. Mankstam40 says, easy Hugh. Easy. United fan from Moston, Manchester. My girlfriend from the suburbs, so naturally a City fan. We have bet £50 City don't win the league. Oh, good God. Well, my son, unfortunately for you, it looks like you just burnt some money. Yeah? Look, you have been brave. You've taken risks, and I appreciate that. I see you. The fact of the matter is, the odds are well stacked against you, because what you've got with Manchester City is a side who are not only blessed with multiple versions of top talent, you know, their second team is better than most Premier League first teams, if not all of them. These are the facts. You may well have done yourself out of some good change there. I mean, 50 quid, what is that? That's a good night out, isn't it? It's all right. Yeah? It's a few drinks. It's a couple of rounds. Not in London. That's a round in London, if you're lucky. Yeah. You're not even getting a kebab in London for that. No way. $74.99 for a doner and chips after 2 a.m. Realistically, I think they're favourites, man, for a reason. They've done it before, many a time. They're back again with so much confidence, and the football that they're playing is very difficult to stop. They are well versed in their jobs. Each and every one of them looks motivated and driven to actually bring that success back. And Pep Guardiola is now re-inspired. There is no denying he's back in. I thought he was off for a second, and that is understandable. He lost his mum. They're back, and they're a problem. And your missus, I think she might win that bet. Mike Whiskey says, Maguire's best business we ever did. Leicester fan. Never saw anything great in him. Chilwell is the same. He's the next Drinkwater at Chelsea. He can't defend. Chelsea fans, let me know your thoughts. Manchester United fans, is Harry Maguire a massive, fraudulent fridge with a huge forehead? Incredible size forehead. 5 points off the top. Man City have got that game in hand, of course. Leicester City just 2 points behind Manchester United. Liverpool, though, 10 points behind City. It's over, is it? It's over. Let it go. I'm hearing Jurgen Klopp talking about top four. We've got to try and secure top four. Wow. I mean, really? This is your hero. We are going to have to talk. I gotta let you know, lads. There's plenty of frauds in this business. But if you believe that Liverpool are capable of winning the league from here. I don't know if you've been watching. I don't know if you've been watching. I am starting to believe that Liverpool will struggle to make top 4. The potential for someone else to step in and take that place it's never been, it's wide open, this. The race for top 4 is sensational. We are talking about 10 points from 2nd to 9th. 10 points. Look, Villa, 21 games played, 2 games in hand. Let's say they win even one of those. 7 points. If they were to win both of those, 4 points behind United, that is top 4 and knocks Liverpool out. I am very worried that Liverpool will drop out of the top 4 with what we've seen so far. I never thought I'd be saying that. Never thought I'd be saying that. You know, before the season started, I thought, you know what? They are bang on the juice, bro. They are bang on the juice. So you see in these Dons' eyes, they are, running like they are on fucking speed or so. I mean, what is this? What is this Red Bull? Oh, this coffee is sensational. Oh, this is the real coffee bean, huh? The purest coffee bean. These Dons are shaking with adrenaline, and it was non-stop physicality like you've never seen. The pressure was intense, but then they took little breathers. They controlled games. They actually matured in their style. They tried to the game management improved. The amount of sprinting that these Dons have done over the past few years, I think it's understandable. You've got to have a day off. You've got to have a day off, lads. Because what happens if you drink too much juice is you get real angry. Right. Oh, what? I mean, public displays of intense aggression seem to be lacking from this side right now. They're letting things happen like that. I've never seen that happen. Now, whatever it is, like honestly, all banter aside, whatever it is that has changed has had such a drastic effect on this side that they look very beatable. And honestly, it didn't need Alisson to mess up for me to be convinced that City are by far the superior side right now. We've seen this coming. What's Klopp going to do about it? What was the point in signing these 2 Dons at the back? What was the point? They're not playing yet. They're not playing yet. Whereas on the flip side, at Manchester City, you have got defenders coming out of your ears. And look, he might have made a bit of a howler here, but Ruben Diaz has been sensational. I mean, he has hit the ground he's sprinting. His legs are going 1,000,000 miles an hour as he's hitting the ground, right? Oh, Rolls Royce. I thought Laporte was creme de la creme, but this is. And then I thought, hold on a second, I've forgotten. He's Benfica Don, isn't he? Benfica Don. Benfica? You think you can relax, huh? Do you know the pressure that these Dons have? He is well versed in the expectations being sky high, for there being minimal, space for excuses or mistakes. Everything is elite. And this is City. This is why when I talk to Arsenal fans who are going, how can we get back in the league? How can we win the league? Who are we going to sign? You got to sign a whole fucking team, mate. You ready to 25 you ready to make 25 signings? You ready to slap down 350 mil in one window? Chelsea have just spent 250 mil in a window. You think you can sleep or rest? Huh? Each one of City's players is valued, or it costs like 30 to 50 to 60 million. You can't be, what's this? Huh? Lower your expectations, calm yourself down to relax, yeah? Sit down in a little corner, okay? Kindergarten over here, yeah? Then you got preschool, yeah? Then you got, primary school. Then you got fucking middle school. Then you got senior school. Then you got Premier League, yeah? You're 7 levels lower. Relax yourself. Huh? You need 25 signings, bro. 25. All 25. Not 2 signings. Oh, look, we've got a midfielder. Okay, great. You've lost a centre-back. Oh, look, we've got a left-back. Okay, but you've only got 1. You've got no right-back. Oh, look, but we've signed 2 strikers. Yeah, but we've got 4 strikers. Okay, look. You don't know what you're doing, clearly. You don't know what you're doing. It's actually very obvious. What City have the luxury of being able to do is not only to live in luxury because they are kept. Oh, they're so well kept. Oh, God, have you seen these guys' lives? Oh, my God. Oh, wow. If you ever had, you know, the dream of being a footballer or a sportsman or anything, if you see the quality of life that this Manchester City side have, the life, the quality of life that has been created for them, oh, it's beautiful. Oh, wow. I mean, they have people who are employed to wipe bums. Yeah, all you have to do is just say, "Listen, I'm ready to go again." There's someone there. There's someone there. Everything is dealt with. The elite level of nutrition, the organizational skills of military leaders, and guys who can help you with your technical proficiency or deficiencies. Not only that, I lived in Manchester for a little while, and they have actually improved the community massively with heavy investment in, you know, local projects and charities, foundations. The way that Man City are run is actually laughed at by a lot of people on Twitter and whatnot, but it's actually fantastic. The numbers end up adding up, and the success speaks for itself. People can say they've spent money. They spent too much money, and I hear people say things like, "Oh, this gets a lot of attention. Oh, Pep Guardiola, he's only ever done it at a big club. Yeah, he's only ever done it at a big club. Pep, he always got the ready-made tools. Ready-made tools, mad, incredible. Ready-made tools is actually a myth." Because when he came to Manchester City, they were in a little bit of disarray, if you ask me, and their squad needed a lot of work. What you're looking at is one of the greatest managers of all time. He's in the debate or the argument for the best that the Premier League has seen. A lot of people obviously will, you know, herald forever Sir Alex Ferguson, but in the modern era, or at least since he's gone, there's only been one who's dominated like this. And the way that he's done it is sensational. To me, asking him, "Why ain't he done it at a small club?" is a little bit like saying to Cristiano Ronaldo, "Can you go and play at Stoke for a season so that we can see if you're any good? Like, please jog on, yeah, jog on." The elites, yeah, the elites rock with elites, yeah. That's it. It's that simple. Do you think that Pep Guardiola is going to work with anything but the best? No, the best go with the best. Come on now, let's be realistic, and let's actually put some respect on the achievements and the way that it has been done. Because I watch and have coached at youth level and have seen the effect of the style of play that he has enforced. There were times when a lot of people questioned, for example, what was being asked of John Stones. It's been something that he's been picked on for, making the odd mistake, and yes, it's bound to happen, but it looks like it has been worked out of him, and ultimately he is doing it against the man who you all called the greatest of all time. I had a little stream earlier on stereo. The links to that will be in the description box or on my Instagram, and the comment was fantastic, and it actually said something about Jurgen Klopp. And as much as he is given credit and should be, you know, lauded for being this resurrector of Liverpool's success and the transformer of the squad, as much as that's to do with the Henrys and whatnot of this world, it is in large part down to him. We also have to recognise that consistency is hugely important. Right? It's fine to do things in blips. If you are doing this over and over again in league after league, then that is commendable. What Klopp is not being criticised for is the destruction and kind of chaos that he leaves his former clubs in. Let's look at Mainz. Yeah. Promoted, then left them in a relegation battle or got them relegated. Now, he's done this a couple of times. He left Borussia Dortmund in a relegation battle. It looks like Liverpool are in freefall. Will he have the tools to be able to fix this? Sir Alex Ferguson aside, who is, for you, the greatest Premier League manager of all time? Obviously, for me, I look to Arsene, but the amount of silverware that Pep Guardiola will end up having won at Manchester City will put him in the question or into the debate. And this season alone, they are potentially on for the fucking quadruple, lads. Quadruple. We move. Sean McGuinness says, "Hey Hugh." Hello, Sean. How you doing, my fraudulent friend? He says, first time watching, really enjoying the show. Thoughts on Chelsea potential this season? With this form, we could go third or second. Okay, look, let's move the conversation to Chelsea very briefly. I'm going to talk about Chelsea because I haven't done on the show just yet. I was going to say about Pep before I stop. I think he is so important, and the reason that I put him above so many is the way that the influence that he has. Look, okay, the example that comes into my head, I hate to say this, I'm not blowing my own trumpet, but the word fraud. I see it everywhere. You know who you are. Sometimes people cannot even help themselves for it to come out of your mouth. And I'm blessed to be able to, how do I say this? To be able to have come up with something that people enjoy saying, or do you know what I mean? Or at least to have redirected a word in a slight way to a little bit of a niche of a community that has given, it's like a term of endearment now as much as anything. That is influence that I see happening on my channel. Like I see it on the internet. I see other YouTubers who can't stop themselves saying my fucking words. It's cool, it's calm. I see you. With Pep, I see it in the kids playing football when they're like 7 and 8. There's no more panicking at the back, or at least people are trying to do things properly. This is from grassroots level all the way to the top. You can watch championship football, first, second, third division, conference, the whole works has been fully influenced by Pep Guardiola. Right? That's undeniable. This is like the new bar, the new benchmark. And as much as I love what Liverpool have done, what Klopp has done with Liverpool, I actually think that Liverpool side in itself was a classic example of how much importance and how much influence Pep's had over football for so long. Because what he's done is he has forced you and forced football to create a side that is capable of beating the Pep Guardiola side. And that is the benchmark. You can only do it for a year, apparently, and he's back at it again. So unless you've got an answer, shut up, sit down, and pay respect to the baldest fraud in the business. The fact of the matter is, I actually think he is a little bit of a fraud as well, right? But he's a lovable fraud. He's owned the fraudulent baldness. You got to respect it. It's a shiny head. We love it. I like his style. Yeah. And if he does actually pull it off, he will have to be up there. He will have to be up there. Anyway, there's a long way to go. I'm not going to write anything off just yet. Anyway, Robert Paulson is in the chat. He says, Australian fan living in Japan. He's an Aussie Villa fan in Japan. Incredible. I have to say, I love your work. Thank you very much, mate. You're much appreciated. Also, it was great to do the double over such... Oh, for fuck's sake, I just realised he's a Villa fan. Fucking hell. See, I had my football head on there for a second, and then it hit me. Oh, he's a Villa fan. Also, love to say, yeah, just want to have a little dig, yeah. Also, yeah, love your work, yeah, love your work, yeah. It's a dig, yeah. Just want to poke you. Love what you're doing. Poke, 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 yeah. Oh, it's like a shit sandwich, that, isn't it? It's like, oh, look, mate, you're so fucking amazing, you absolute fucking fraud. Oh, I really love what you do, you fucking bellend. Listen, Robert, you're a massive fraud. Thanks for getting involved. And I guess that is sensational. Look, I can remember quite a few occasions now where Aston Villa have done dirty over Arsenal, and they are a club who I thought had been saved by some faulty technology, but they have been one of the most entertaining sides to watch this year. Dean Smith's done a fantastic job. Whoever's in charge of the club itself has brought in some really good talent. I've always liked Cash. Target looks like he's dependable. You've got a couple of players who are showing real potential. I don't know what happened to his Manchester City career, but the kid in the middle, the Brazilian, what's his name, Douglas, he's capable of playing for a much bigger side. You've got Watkins, who's one of the most complete strikers in the league. I've been talking about this, Don. I'm getting ignored for 2 years. You've got Grealish, who's probably I don't want to say the best player in the league, but he is the player that I enjoy on the ball watching more than any other in the league right now. And also, I think he's the most fouled player in the league, which says something in itself. He skins Dons for fun, eat it up, soak it up, breathe it in, and more, right? And more. So, yeah. Anyway, let's move on to Thomas Tuchel. Thomas Tuchel, our new Chelsea boss, who we have had a super in the chat who wants to talk about him and the potential of them coming second or third. Okay. I really like what I've seen so far, and I hate to say it, but I think he's exposed Frank massively already. That much is very worrying. I think for a long time we weren't really sure what they are, but you're starting to see what they're trying to be already in the short space of time that he's been there. Don't expect it all to click immediately, and hopefully they do show us a little bit more than what it is so far, which has been a lot of passing, right? It's passing. Lots and lots and lots of passing. Nearly went wrong against Sheffield United. I'm talking about that game, I mean, specifically now. If only because of a moment of madness from Antonio Rudiger or / Mendy. Who's to blame there? Not really sure. Keeper's coming out when he doesn't really need to be. Communication, lads. Is it that they can't speak the same language, or that they just don't speak to each other? Or what is it? A simple call should be enough. And it nearly let Sheffield United in, but anyway, 3 points in the bag, and the confidence seems to be back with a Chelsea side who, where are you in the table? Let's have a little look. 5th in the table, 39 points, 1 point behind Liverpool with the same amount of games played, and the form is actually quite good. 3-1 win against Luton, 0-0 against Wolves, 2-0 against Burnley, 1-0 against Spurs. That was a big game as well, and a 2-1 win. Unfortunately, I compare the situation with Frank Lampard at a level of like if Henry was at Arsenal, so I kind of empathise with anyone who's really into him, or he was your favourite player, and it must have been devastating for him because it would have been a dream job. But I am also not convinced that this guy will take them to the very top. There is something fraudulent about this Don, and we have seen it at both Dortmund and PSG. I think the latter lesser so, or to a lesser extent, if only because you've got to give him credit because they got to the Champions League final for the first time in PSG's history. But what we've seen in the league or cups, as other cups, is the jury is fully out now. Going forward, man for man, I think they definitely have the squad to achieve top 4. With everybody else dropping and it being so tight around the top, there's no reason why they couldn't end up second or third or fourth. I mean, they're only 5 points behind United now. There are 45 points to play for. So strap in. It's going to be a bumpy road. with a new manager, with him being of, German influence, and the German influence at the club right now, you've got Antonio Rudiger being given the chance, you got Werner Reddy, you got Averts, I'm sure you got others there as well who I can't think of, but there is a little bit of an opportunity for him to create a bond, and that could be important going forward. Is anything less than top 4 even acceptable? No, it isn't. Sorry, it's fully unacceptable. If you finish outside of the top 4, he's gone. And as a result, I'm just genuinely not sure, because it's so tight. You can't call that. I cannot call anything like top 4 right now. I can't. Leicester could well slip out. Liverpool I don't know if they're going to finish top 4. Look, United even. It's not written in stone. Let me know your thoughts. I want top 4 from all of you. Let me know in the chat. We are moving into the last section of the show. Much love to everyone who has joined us already. My jaw's starting to hurt, so I'm going to switch over to the phone lines, right? We're going to move and give you a chance to get involved in the chat. But before we do, Mauricio Rosera, much love for getting involved. You're a massive fraud and greatly appreciated. Anyone who supports the stream, you're just absolute heroes. Certified fraud gang Donnies for life. I've got you. Adam Schuff says, why do Arsenal always do well against United and then fall off a cliff? It's as if they just put everything into that game every time. I mean, it goes without saying that Arsenal have really played a part in transforming plenty of seasons. The win against Leicester in 2015 makes me think they switched on at that stage and Arsenal just fell off. The win against United this season is the moment that United really switched on. And yeah, it's certainly happened before, and I'm sure it will happen again. Manchester is Blue says, thoughts on Manchester City possibly signing Haaland and Lionel Messi? I mean, what do you want? You want the Xbox 5 and the PlayStation 5 and the new Xbox as well, whatever that one's called. You want both at once. If that is even possible, that is one hell of a statement, and would just make the league completely one-sided, and I think would go some way to encouraging clubs to step aside and move to a Super League. If we do go to a Super League, there will probably be even less of a restriction in terms of like financial fair play, so you can expect super teams like that all year long. Haaland will probably end up at City, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. He's got history there, his dad played there, and I'm sure that he's looking at the Premier League with one eye open right now, especially as Mino Raiola, his agent, has said that he would be ready to move at the end of this season. Is that going to happen? Well, they're one of the only teams that will pay the money, so yeah, I wouldn't be surprised at all. Messi as well, though, it's a lot of money. £1 million a week, apparently. Questionable whether that's actually doable, but they would make a lot of money as well. Let's not forget that Messi comes with an army of fans. He is bigger than most football clubs put together in terms of social media and marketing reach. So it wouldn't surprise me if they made a lot of the money that they spend back, and they could offer him a path into not only MLS in terms of playing for New York City Football Club, but also back home. There is also talk of him going to PSG, of course, but then PSG wouldn't be able to keep Neymar and Mbappe at the same time. I think they'd have to get rid of one of those players if they were to accommodate Messi as well, just because of the financial fair play regulations. Again, God damn it, these fucking laws. Lewis Gillies says Douglas Luiz couldn't get a work permit. There you go. The hard-hitting home truths and the factual information from the fraud gang. He is actually really good. So I always wondered what had happened there. Adam Schuff says Manchester City will forever be Plastic FC. Let us know your thoughts on that sensational comment there from Mr. Adam Schuff with the hard-hitting home truths. I mean, look, they're a B-Tech Arsenal, aren't they? They really moved in, capitalised on the situation. They plucked Arsenal's best players and, stole the blueprint, and now you're seeing the best of it. Arsenal are responsible for City's success. Big Vengs, he's done it again. Who would have thunk it? Anyhow, let's move, as I say, the conversation over to the Discord. If you do want to get involved in tonight's late night phone-in, the phone-in for the real football fan, the phone-in for the true football don, now is your opportunity. We're going to go through, let's say, 5 calls, okay? 5 big calls. Let's get them going. I can see the queue is big. The fraud gang are ready. We're going to start with... we're going to go random. We'll do it in alphabetical order. Mr. Aldrich, you are going to be up first. Let us know exactly where you're watching from, what it is you want to talk about, which club you support. In fact, Jacob, you're now live and exclusive on Late Night Fraudulence. Much love to your mother for getting involved. Where are you calling from tonight, my friend? No, he's not there. Jacob Aldrich. Jacob Aldrich, the first fraud to be placed on Fraud Watch. Oh, wow. Oh, the first fraud caller of the day is the first caller. You've outdone yourselves, mate. You've actually outdone yourselves. You know what, as well? I just want to give a massive shout out to Lingus. Lingus, you're a massive fraud, and you will be placed on Fraud Watch as well. Yeah? If you're not one of the 5 big calls, you may well get yourself, your little bottom may well be blocked tonight. Lingus. Why is your name spelt with a double S? It's fraudulent. Yeah? Your parents have frauded you out of a real name. Ah, shocking scenes of unglorious emotion. Who is this fraud? Jacob Aldrich. Lock him up. Lock him up. He's finished on this platform. Right? You're finished on this platform, Jacob. Sorry. Rolls. Is that Rolls or is it Roll SRS? Rolls SRS. You are going to be next up. Please be ready. I'm going to give you a moment to prepare while I go through more super chats. Jesus. The fraudulence on show. Thank goodness we've got the good stuff out the way. Yeah? And you don't have to rely on these frauds. Lingus, yeah? You're on Fraud Watch, mate. Watch yourself. I'm watching your every move. You think I don't see every word that goes in that Discord? Huh? You think I don't see it? Ah. Your parents are fully in the mud. Right? And you will be soon as well. You fucking fraud. Okay. Rolls, mate. You better be ready. You've had a minute. If you're not ready, you're in a lot of trouble. Rolls. Rolls, bro. Rolls. Do you know what? I'm going to have to lock you off, bro. I'm actually going to lock you off. Rolls, you've been locked off. Now, one thing I know for sure. Oh, wow. This is the most fraudulent. You are the most fraudulent duns of all time. DJ, you're in the chat, right? Pablo, you're in the chat. I want you to actually physically, in front of my eyes right now, go and block Jacob Aldrich for 24 hours. We are not going on with the show until Jacob Aldrich is blocked, okay? He is getting blocked. Yeah? I need to see that confirmation in front of my eyes. I'm looking at it right now. Much love to your mother. You're looking at live technical fraudulence. Just bear with me a second. I want to see him blocked right now. Yeah? Rose is also getting blocked. You're blocked and banned for a day. 24 hours. Yeah? Okay, the fraud gang well and truly living up to their name tonight. You love to see it. Okay. The first man on the list tonight who is actually going to come good. I'm hoping he's in the chat. He's French. He's fraudulent. I don't actually know his name. What is your name, bro? Oh, this is... I'll come back when you're ready, yeah? Fucking hell. Absolute waste as you are. I've done my part. I'm going to get a coffee. When you're ready, yeah? You can let me know. Safe. Let yourself down. You've let yourself down, lads. How are you all doing? Yeah, you all good? I told you I've done my bit, right? Wee. Cheers. We will hopefully be welcoming someone on the phone. We've got so many people in the queue. None of you are ready. Huh? None of you. Not a single fraud ready. You're letting the side down like this. Okay. Let me just talk to Pablo. And Zlatan made good. You're now live and exclusive on Late Night Fraudulence. Much love to your mother for getting involved. You are the most reliable of frauds. How are you doing tonight, my fraudulent friend?
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you, yes indeed. You never let me down, you do. I knew you were online, mate. It's these other frauds. They don't seem to know what's going on.
No, they're new. Well, I'm an OG.
You are an OG indeed. Much love for getting involved. I really do need to talk to you specifically tonight, if only because Lionel Messi has again been making the headlines. And of course, I need to talk to you about the Marseille president as well. But let's start with Lionel Messi. Is this something that PSG fans think is realistic?
I think most PSG fans agree with you. Neymar is going to renew. It's pretty much confirmed. The guy who talked about his transfer, who first reported his transfer in Brazil, who's quite close, who apparently has contact with his father, said that he's going to sign. So now it's about Mbappe, and if we don't sign Mbappe, we might go for Messi. I don't know.
Right, so Mbappe is the one who could well be leaving. Have there been talks about him not renewing, or?
I think he'll renew. I think he will eventually go to Real Madrid. But maybe he'll go when they're a bit better. But he is young, so if he has his dream of playing for Real Madrid, he can do it later. He's 22.
What more can he achieve at PSG?
It's the Champions League, really, on paper. I mean, that's really the way they judge him. Players will be judged at PSG on the Champions League. I think it's harsh because it's a knockout competition, and you can get unlucky. And we've been unlucky with referees a few times. We've gone out, but it's you have to look at performance, and there are players who have performed. Mbappe has performed, but sometimes underperformed in certain big games.
Mbappe has also been linked to Liverpool, who have also got this situation with Mohamed Salah in their hands, whereby he has been linked himself with a move to Real Madrid. Can you see him fitting into a Liverpool side there? I mean, it's difficult to see which side he couldn't fit into, really. But could he be? Could that be possible?
Yeah, I could see him do well anywhere, like you say. I think Liverpool create a lot of chances. They'll give the ball to him in a lot of dangerous positions, and that's really what you need to do when you have Mbappe. You need to play on his strengths. I think Mbappe's problem recently is kind of trying to be a bit too much like Neymar, and starting and kind of holding on to the ball too much. And I think when he played like he did against Marseille, for example, where he's very quick, one-touch passing, and runs at defenders in space. That's where he's at his best. So if Liverpool do that for him, then he will perform for them. And I think he will. They would if he went there.
I think the goal that you're talking about is the most ridiculous example of the electrifying pace. The first touch to take it away from the defender. I know that the pace is the thing that people are talking about, but the touch to take it away from the defender at that pace and then to finish with his left foot is a ridiculous footballer.
Yeah, there's a really good interview. You've probably seen it with Thierry Henry, where he's often compared to Henry. I think there's differences, but there's also a lot that's similar. But Henri says it's not just the pace; it's what he's doing at this high speed. He's doing incredible things that would be incredible if you did them slowly, and he's doing them very quickly.
Unbelievable footballer. Hopefully we do get to see him in the Prem one day. I would love to. Listen, mate, much love for calling in. You're an absolute hero. Just before you go, let us know exactly what the Marseille president's been doing.
I'm not a fan of the recruitment they've had. They've had like a lot of pretty shit transfers, and I think the managers also feel the same way. Bielsa left for the same reasons because they sold players he didn't want to sell and brought players he didn't want to bring in. So it's the same thing that's happened with Bielsa. That's happened with Villas-Boas. Yeah.
Well, why were the PSG ultras holding up a banner in support of the president then?
Honestly, they're probably taking the piss, but I don't agree with it.
Okay, that makes much more sense. Much love for getting involved, man. You're an absolute hero. Our first caller of the night, and Zlatan made gods. We are going to move the conversation over to LFC Ginoli. LFC Ginoli, you are now live and exclusive on Late Night Fraudulence. Much love to your mother for getting involved. I think you're a Liverpool fan, aren't you?
Yeah, is it good with the sound?
Yes, mate, it's crystal clear. You are coming through like you're right next to me.
Oh, that's ideal. I've got some things to tell you.
You've got some things to tell me. I've got some things to tell you too, baby. You're in a lot of trouble, yeah? You're in a lot of trouble. You're in freefall. I've never seen Liverpool like this. Oh, what's going on? Talk to us.
I think you'll find you're in trouble, mate, because some of the stuff you've been saying...
Hold on. Let's talk about Liverpool, yeah? I don't want to talk about me. I'm not here to talk about me. I want to talk about Klopp. I want to talk about your team and why they're so poor right now.
Well, the good news is I've got the answer why we're poor.
Oh,
okay?
Fantastic.
It's very, very clear why, and it's just because of Van Dijk leaving, and it affects our attack and our defence horrifically. I'm going to tell you why.
Right. Break it down for me, mate. Break it down.
We score in two main ways. First of all, long balls into the channel for Mane and Salah, and they come from Van Dijk most of the time. And when he's out, we lose that way of scoring, which is fine if we have our secondary way of scoring, which is through our press. And our press, we can't do it anymore because it's dependent on a high line. So we have a high line, it compresses the teams into one half of the pitch, and then the pitch is smaller, we have a better chance of winning the ball. And when we do win the ball, we've already broken the opposition lines. But because we haven't got our fast defenders anymore, our line is deeper. So when we get the ball back, the opposition lines are already set, which is the reason why we have trouble breaking teams down. And you get these pundits saying, oh, we're not as good offensively. There's a clear reason why. And because there's that clear reason why, is the reason that no Liverpool fan that knows anything about football should be concerned. Because the fix comes with time. And they, when...
So what is the fix? Getting Van Dijk back? Is that the fix?
Yeah, and that's the only fix.
What if Van Dijk's not the same player anymore? It's a serious injury.
Well, I mean, time will tell, right? I think. But realistically, when Van Dijk went down injured, everyone was saying, like, the mockery came in because people knew what was going to happen. And now it's happening. People are pretending to be surprised. It was clear that this was going to happen, that we were going to have a top four finish. That should be our aim. And there's no danger of us finishing lower than fourth. We're too good a team to be doing that. We're in a bad moment, but we'll improve. And
no, wait, sorry. What's giving you the impression that you'll improve?
Well, first of all, we have Jota coming back, who is really, really good at, first of all, like one-on-one attacking, basically. And he's also very, very good at getting shots off both feet. And when we have this new attacking style where we have to break teams down, that sort of skill is invaluable because it's Aguero-like, essentially. Short backlift, shots away quickly, that would really, really help us attackingly.
Yeah, I'm not convinced by what you're saying, man, because the last time that I saw Virgil van Dijk play a full 90 minutes, I believe he conceded 7 I'm not
Oh,
sure.
don't do that, Hugh. You're better than that.
No, I'm not sure that the club should be as reliant on one individual as well. If you're resting your whole hopes on this guy, it worries me in terms of what Klopp is actually able to achieve as a coach. I thought he was able to motivate. I thought he was the ultimate man motivator. I thought that he was able to transform, average into sensational. And to do that this season, like I've said many a time, would have been a bigger achievement, I think, than last season, given the fact that Van Dijk is out. But, I mean, right now, mate, the world has handed this to Manchester City, and it really does look as though Liverpool are going to struggle even to get top four. They're 1 point ahead of West Ham.
The table is incredibly volatile. I mean, back in December,
it's so volatile that you could be sixth, in a week.
Yeah, we could be, but we won't be. I think also, I mean, I don't like City, and everyone on the Discord will know that very, very well. But to use sort of failing against City as a stick to beat Klopp with, I don't think works, because City are just unbelievable at football, and they will run away with the league. They were always going to.
Right. What about failure against Southampton or Manchester United or Burnley or Brighton? Which one where do we look?
Well, I mean, so we're having a bad season, right? But that was always going to happen at some point. I think he deserves respect. He takes players that aren't world beat, just players like Robertson, Wijnaldum, or develops players like Trent, and he turns them into world-class players. Right. And regardless of which way you look at it, how we're doing in the last couple of weeks, really, because we were first at Christmas. It is weeks, a matter of weeks. We're entitled to have a blip. It was always going to happen. City had theirs at the start of this year. We're having ours now. Over the long term, there's nothing to be concerned about, in my view.
I'm thinking of that meme, the meme of the guy in the fire. Look, it could be me. I mean, everything is fine, right? Everything is okay. Everything is normal. Everything will be back to where it was. I don't know, man. I don't know. It looks like he's lost his head a bit. Do you feel as confident that Jurgen Klopp can turn this around, or are you starting to see some cracks?
I see no cracks at all. I see a winner, and I think...
Oh, mate.
I see none.
Mate, it looks like a fucking desert day with cracks all over the floor.
Mate, so when we were doing really well, if Klopp came out with a fiery press conference, it's all about how he's a winner and how he's got a winning FC, yeah? That sort of thing. But now he's losing, it's all about how he's losing the plot.
No, that was you lot that got gassed by that. I don't really check for that. I'm sorry. I don't really rate the winning mentality is great. That's fantastic. All this positivity, the loving that people have had with Klopp is, he's the manager that everyone wants to go for a pint with. You can see he's also a massive prick. Yeah, that comes with being a winner, though. So
there you go.
It's I'm not the one who's losing faith with him, though, and I'm hearing a lot of people who are starting to,
Well, I haven't seen anybody that, like an actual Liverpool fan, say Klopp out. I've yet to see it. I know
Klopp out is a step too far, but really and truly, look, to me, it's like he is owed time and a dip in form, but there's no doubting that right now, I'm sorry to say this, man, they look like they're struggling for confidence, they're struggling for form, they are being picked apart and look gettable. And teams who have had previously next to no chance, this was a guaranteed 3. Brighton, that's not, come on now. I mean, there's trouble on the horizon at least. I'm looking at players who I once held in such high esteem like Thiago and thinking, hold on a second, what's going on here? What is going on with Thiago for you?
I think he struggles because we actually average the second most possession in Europe. So having Thiago makes sense. I think, honestly, it's probably a confidence thing because he came in and we were all like jizzing our pants. Everyone was on social media and stuff. That doesn't go away over 2 games. That he's been played in quite a few different roles. He's played in the 6, and Sunday he played as an 8. I don't think he works very well as an 8. I think he should be a 6, to be honest, because I don't think he has the athleticism, if you like, to get up and down the pitch. I think that might be the problem. But again, much like Klopp, he deserves the respect, like to be given a chance to turn around. And there is no doubt in my mind that in 3 months we'll be having this conversation again, and it'll be all like, "Oh, thank God they turned it around." And Thiago is, best midfielder in the league or close to it.
Okay, well, Leicester City, then Everton, and then a couple of games which look winnable in Sheffield United and Fulham, but realistically, Leicester City and Everton, 2 very big games. I hope that you will come back on the show so you can let us give us an inkling of your thoughts after those games, because I've got a feeling that there is more trouble on the horizon. I hope to speak to you then. Much love to LFC Giannoli for getting involved in the chat. Let's flip the script slightly and move to a Manchester City fan. Cancelo. How do we say that in a proper accent? Cancelo season. Yeah, it's Cancelo season. One of the most, can I say, improved players, or he has been given a new lease of life under Pep Guardiola.
He's been given freedom.
Freedom is priceless. The people have been locked up for quite some time, so it must be nice to experience a bit of extra freedom. He is your favourite player, or just someone that you've decided to rep?
He's someone that I decided to rep once he moved from Juve. He's the things that he used to do at Juventus in the Serie A. I don't think we've seen that from a fullback since Cafu in that league. And he was so brilliant, and I was so excited when we got him. And it didn't work out first season. First season in the Prem, always difficult. Second season, Pep just turned him into a different player.
Is he currently the best right back / right wing back in the league?
I think he's the best right wing back in the world currently.
In the world, sensational scenes of glorious emotion.
Is he right wing back?
I don't know. He looks like a midfielder these days.
Yeah, that's interesting, because if you saw the game yesterday, the first half, he was more reserved. But the second halftime, Pep probably told them, "We can get at them. Go into midfield. Gundogan, you move up, and Bernardo move up.
Yeah.
We can get at them." And it just changed at halftime. We looked so much better, and we deserved the win yesterday.
Okay, now the Bernardo Silva switch for me looked like the most crucial one yesterday, but it's an example of what Pep was able to do. A lot of people pointing to, Alisson making some huge blunders, being responsible. But
they were forced.
Let me know why Alisson is making those mistakes and put people right.
Apparently, at halftime, Pep told the players to close the angles when Alisson gets the ball. And when you see that, there's a couple of pictures on Twitter. We close down the angles, like the players are. You have 5 players, and they shut down the passing lanes to Trent, to Robo, and to midfield to Fabinho. And that's what forced the errors. That's what I think was the difference. I don't think Alisson gave us those goals. I think we forced those errors out of them.
Now, I know we have waxed lyrical. I've talked a lot about Pep Guardiola versus Jurgen Klopp in terms of what they've achieved in the Premier League. It looks like everyone is handing Manchester City the title already. Now, I know you must be confident because you've been there before and you've seen it, and he has done it.
Yeah.
Do you think it's actually in the bag, or is there still a little bit of a question mark?
Next week, if we beat Spurs and Everton, I think it's the title done.
It's a done deal. And where does that put Pep Guardiola in terms of the rank of the Premier League managers for you?
I think he's third after Fergie and Wenger.
Okay, that's a good answer. You're a certified fraud gang. Donny, my son! Correct orders! Huh? Okay. No.
Home of hard hitting, home too. Of course.
You love to see it. Now, one of the most improved players who I do just want to touch upon, obviously the talk of the town is Foden. He's a generational talent, that goes without saying.
Yep.
One of the most improved, though, has been John Stones.
Yeah.
Is that part of the reason why City are making this look so easy?
Yes. John Stones is not a better defender than Laporte, but he just works with Ruben Diaz. Ruben Diaz and Laporte didn't work together. John Stones and Ruben Diaz do work together. They have that understanding. And he's come leaps and bounds this season here. It's amazing. The confidence yesterday to come out and play from the back was ridiculous to see at Anfield as well. Breaking those passes that break through the lines was fantastic to see. And I hope he doesn't get injured and we get to see him in the Euros, because he's a big asset when he's on this sort of form.
Fantastic to speak to you, my fraudulent friend. Cancelo season in the building. I would like you to come on after those 2 games, man. We're going to have another late night fraudulent session. Come on and let us know how City are getting on and whether that title is fully in the bag or not. Much love for getting involved. We're going to move the conversation on to our next caller. If you do want to get involved, all you got to do is click on the link in the description box below. There's a Discord in there. You can give me a little call on the Discord. Get in the queue and we will have a little chin wag. Next up, we have got Ill Mind of Callum. Ill Mind of Callum. What's going on, my fraudulent friend? I think he's an Arsenal fan. Is this our Scottish Arsenal Don? I'm not actually sure. Is he? Oh, he's gone. Oh, he's frauded himself out of it. Do you know what? I'm going to give him another chance because I know what he does, right? He links up his AirPods. Stop linking up your AirPods, bro, on the Bluetooth. Your Wi-Fi doesn't work properly, yeah? Or your Bluetooth doesn't work properly. Just let it go. Just use normal headphones, bro. Come on, mate. You're from Scotland, home of the, basics. Haggis and Iron Brew. Just use the white wired ones. For the time being, I'll go to the next caller. We'll move to Eamon. Eamon, much love for getting involved, bro. You are live and exclusive on Late Night Fraudulence.
Yo, what's up?
Let us know which team you support or what you've come to talk about today.
Okay, so I'm actually from France. I'm a part-time Saint-Etienne fan, full-time Chelsea fan.
Oh, sensational.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very happy right now with Chelsea.
Very happy with Chelsea. Is that because they have bitten the bullet and sacked Frank Lampard?
Yes, partially, because I don't think Frank is a reliable manager. I think since Thomas Tuchel has come in, he's really energized the squad, and now we can, you can see the difference. It's night and day, the energy, the passing, everything.
Okay, so what are the expectations going forward and what will be acceptable as a season finish for Tuchel in his first kind of half season?
Well, pretty much top 4 will be very acceptable, but if he can achieve something else, let's say a trophy, an FA Cup, something, getting us past Atletico Madrid would be a great achievement as well. We have them in the Champions League, but basically top 4 is what I'll take, but anything else would be exceptional.
Okay, so anything else would be exceptional. What about no top 4? Is that a sacking for you? Because now you've sacked your living legend, best player ever. Yeah. So can I just say you've got the most fraudulent French accent I've ever heard in my life. Yeah.
Oh, thank you very much.
Tuchel though is anything but top 4 going to save him from the sack?
Well, it's Chelsea, so you never know. But I hope that for once we actually change our policies and the board acts up and doesn't sack him no matter what. I just want to have a manager that we give a good chance to, and I think he's the one for the moment. Just 3 years, something, I don't know. But we know what the board of Chelsea can do. It's very unpredictable and they can be very cynical to managers, so we'll see, I guess.
Well, you seem to be pretty confident in him. Any other thoughts on the Premier League season or title race, as it were? Have you got City down as favourites, or can anyone get back in it?
Yeah, no, City are winning. There's no other option. Top 4 will probably be City, Man U, and then it's going to be between Leicester, Liverpool, and Chelsea for the last 3 slots. I don't see anybody else. I see Everton falling down. I see Aston Villa and Arsenal probably battling for a Europa League spot, and that's about it.
Sensational. Well. Do you want to hit us with one hard-hitting home truth before you leave?
Saka isn't that good. Callum Hudson-Odoi is a lot better.
You're sacked. Get this fraud off. Do you know You know, if you want to expose yourself, all you got to do is open your trap and say something really ignorant, like Saka isn't that good. Wow. Are you? Get off. Put him on fraud watch. DJ, Pablo. Yeah, get busy. Fraud watch. What was his? I can't even remember his name. Irrelevant Don. Useless. Clueless. Clueless Dons. What's he on about? French. No, mate. You got an Irish accent. What's going on? I'm so confused right now. Don't waste my time, yeah? Like a Krypton Conan song. Don't waste my time, yeah? Absolute fraudulence. Next up on that list, we are going to move to a man who I'm sure is not going to waste my time like that. Massive fraud. Put him on fraud watch, yeah? I want to see the thing. The thing needs to flash up so that he's on fraud watch. I'm talking to you, Pablito, yeah? Yeah? Got my son. Unleash the dogs, set the dogs loose, yeah? Collect the Don, put him in the van, put him in the fraud cell. Fucking knobhead. Saka isn't that good. Imagine actually ringing up to say that. Wow. Imagine that. Do you know who's not that good? Yeah? Do you know who's not that good? Let's have a look. I thought you were supposed to know football. Don't ring my show up if you don't know football. Do not even watch the show if you don't know football. Actually do, because you might learn something. Listen, you see this Don? Oh, this Don's having a great time, isn't he? Great time. Greatest time. Who is this Don? Has he forgotten how to kick a ball? Let me just talk. I'm not talking to anyone else except that Don. Yeah? This is for you. Yeah? This is your hero. This is the one you put posters up in your bedroom of. This is your goal scorer. Ha! Mad. It's actually crazy. Sit yourself down and be quiet. Shh. Shh. I don't want to hear it. Shh. Shh. Close. Close. Yeah? Don't ever unmute yourself. Keep yourself on mute. Keep it locked down. Unless this Don starts scoring from 8 yards. Pens. You're missing pens. 3 pens. Oh, stop it. Jorginho does hops. Yeah? Hop, skip, jump, bury. Hop, skip, jump, bury. It's embarrassing. Yeah? Look at your little dwarf smurf. Sorry, to all the small people, I love you as well. But look at this little smurf. Yeah? This fraudulent smurf who can't kick a ball straight. He's missing one. He's missing from in the goal. Oh, stop it. That's your hero. Okay. That was for no one but that guy. Okay? He'll come good, but he's a massive fraud for you. Yeah? This is your Don. Mad. No, it's actually crazy. I'm still looking for this Don. I'm still searching for him. What's he got? How many goals? Let's look at the stats. Let's bring the stats up. We've not talked about stats all night. Let's look at the stats. Yeah, where are the stats? Oh, Timo Werner got an assist. Oh, got assist. Oh, got assist. Yeah, that you paid all that money for an assist. Mad. It's actually crazy the way people will fucking beg it as well. Oh, you love to see it. Sometimes you just love to see it. I don't wish bad on anyone, I promise. But for you, yeah? I've forgotten your name, Irrelevant Don. You can suffer with him. I feel sorry for him, but not for you. Let me just look at this guy's stats. Hold on. This Timo Don. Oh, wow, the pain. The actual Spain. The Spanish holiday that you've been in without the S. Oh, wow, it's actually so bad. Matches. Here we go. Let's have a look. Oh, you definitely started as well, didn't you? He started you, didn't he? He started you again! Oh, he started you! Oh, stop it. 1 shot on target in 75 minutes. Oh, he's injured as well. You're kidding me. What? 22 games. 4 goals. Yeah? 4! With that team behind you, the electrifying pace and all the options and all the balls through them and all the options and all the opportunities that you've got. Your heroes, not mine. Okay, we're going to move the conversation on. I'm done. I went in on that guy. There's no... Werner got it then. I don't know. Werner wasn't meant to get it then. It was that Don, yeah? I'm going to move the conversation on to a man who knows his stuff.
The fraudulence is gone.
We are free of fraudulence, except are we? Mikel Arteta will, I'm sure, be the topic of conversation. Ill Mind of Callum, welcome to the show. How you doing, my son?
I told you, Hugh. I told you.
I've just phoned up to say I told you so. Go on. Bro, what did you tell me?
We're in such a mess, bro, honestly.
What a mess.
I felt, it really, really hit me when I chucked on your stream the other day and you didn't have the little backgrounds and everything. You were just sitting on the couch and I felt that so hard. Just sitting in funny enough, I was sitting in an Adidas jumper as well, man. I was just like, I'm watching myself just die inside slowly.
It's painful, isn't it?
It's so painful right now, man. I told everyone, every time I've come on Late Night Fraudulence, try to get myself in that Late Night Fraudulence Hall of Fame.
This is a great idea. Let's get the Hall of Fame going. I want votes in the chat as to who belongs in the Hall of Fame.
Shout out to Zlatan, made God, and
Indeed.
Elmindus Callum, the one and only. But honestly, man, just so much hate towards stuff that I have said, or the opinions of people that I support have said. It's just ridiculous. Anybody who's Arteta in at the moment, fine, have your own opinion, but give me 4 or 5 solid reasons why he deserves to be in that job. People are getting so gassed over us beating dead food like West Brom and Newcastle. These next 6 fixtures are crucial. They're crucially important. People sleep on the fact that we lost the round of 32 against Olympiacos, and we're coming up on arguably a better side against Benfica in a couple of weeks' time, with a manager who's got a better win percentage over a higher number of games than Allegri. The Benfica manager is no joke. Yes, he's done it in a lesser league, but it's the winning mentality we're up against. We've got Leeds. This is a 6-pointer against Leeds. Above us in the table. We were 15th in December. It's February, and we're at 11th.
Well, that's progress, isn't it? Trust the process, no?
Trust the process. The process, the most important word.
What is the process, mate? Can you explain the process to me, please?
I can't see the process.
You can't see the process. Well, we're in trouble then, aren't we? I thought I was supposed to be trusting something. I can't see it. Then how am I supposed to trust it? It's a bit like God, isn't it? You just got to believe. You got to hope. You just got to trust that He's there. Yeah. We're praying. We don't know if we're just guessing. Am I trusting dons that came before me who were full of really? I don't know.
Do you see the point you brought up earlier, bro, about because when we last spoke, we spoke 2 weeks ago. It was the last time that I spoke to you. And obviously we went back and forth about some pros and cons of Arteta's reign so far. But one of the key things that I did admit and could agree with you that is, yes, maybe he does need some time and maybe he does need some opportunity to get in his own players. And then I sat back and I thought about that point. He's had 2 windows, as you agree. This is going to be his 3rd window. Now, Thomas Partey is an absolute general, absolute baller. But he's not been utilised properly. He's been put into games when he's half fit, and it's now caused him to get 3 injuries compared to 1 injury in his entire time as a footballer. What is it with Arsenal? Is he going to be the next Diaby? I really hope not. And I look at Arteta's signings, and I try and trust this process, and I try and look at the things that he says, and I just don't believe it. It's just like, you said it earlier, how can a club as decorated as Arsenal Football Club let someone go in and just have a crack? We're in now. Fair enough. If we had a history of, let's just say we go back to the Wenger days, and Arsenal left his career at Arsenal with back-to-back title wins, and he says, I've had my time at the top. I'm moving on now. Thank you. Goodbye. I could see, fair enough. Let's give someone else a project. We've had our time at the top. Let's keep building on that. Let's build a new guy. We're in chaos. We're in free fall right now. People were talking about Emery. Emery's competing for top 4 in Spain.
Okay, so hold on a second. Have you just lost faith in completely? Because it sounds a little bit like you're ready to move on, but bearing in mind that we are already, having just gone through January and having dealt with, let's say, Kolasinac, Ozil, Mustafi, and all these other players, we are on the way to something, else happening, or to the next stage of this process happening. Is it not just best to just sit tight and just kind of, just as much as possible try and ignore this season? Because I honestly look at myself sometimes and I just wonder, how am I allowing this? I'm not even going mad. I don't do rants. I'm not like losing my nut. I'm not shouting or anything. I'm just kind of apathetic to it. We're 12th and I've accepted that this is who we are. Like, what's happened?
I think this. So I'm with you on that point. I think this season's a write-off. Ultimately, yes, we could maybe. I mean, we're 9 points off top four. Realistically, 3 wins on a bounce isn't unthinkable in this crazy league that we're in. But it is when you're an Arsenal fan. If we look at the next few fixtures and we focus in depth on the transfer window that we've had, I initially left that transfer window thinking that's an amazing window. Realistically, there's a few players that clearly the manager doesn't rate that will be returning, and I don't have faith that they will be dealt with properly in the summer. I then look at players that have been brought in, like Cedric, who cost us the game against Villa, or cost us the goal at least, like Willian, who has had 3 shots or 2 shots on target in 20 Premier League games, like Pablo Mari, who apparently has been benched because if he plays another game, we're going to give his former club £1 million. It's the most fraudulent thing I've ever heard in my life.
When he was in great form, and it was
when he was in fantastic form.
They changed my mind about the signing. I wasn't sold on it, and suddenly I'm thinking, okay, hang on a second, there might be something here. And then he's telling me we are resting the guy, or not playing him because of like 800 grand. If we could find out if that is true, that is the most disgusting reason to rest a player. We're a £1 billion industry, multi-billion-pound industry, and you're trying to save 800k because this guy's got a bonus in his contract to his old club if he plays 10 games in a row. Right, look at your screen for a second, please, if you can. I've got the William pass map on from Aston Villa. Do you want to explain what? Like, this is one of the reasons why, as much as I want to believe, I'm starting to look at it and just think, hold on a second, look, the fact that you're learning on the job is okay, but this is like massively basic errors, man. You messed up the one thing that we kind of had going for us, and you've again forced this Don in, who's shown us next to nothing. I'm not going to lie, in the game beforehand, I don't actually think he was that bad. It was probably one of his better performances for Arsenal. But the
trouble with Willian is one of his better performances for Arsenal is still a pretty credible performance.
That's more fair. Yeah,
you can summarize. Like I said to you when we spoke again in the last 2 weeks, we're going to pay this guy £31 million over 3 years for these passes. What am I seeing? What's that? Maybe 14, 15 passes on that kind of left wing position with 90% of them going backwards. I can see it right there. He's passing to Xhaka. Xhaka's passing it back. Willian saying, I don't want it. You take it back, Xhaka. Play a long ball. We don't have any style of play. We funnel so much down the left. I really think it's no surprise why Pepe has started to get a little bit of form, which I am really happy about, because we funnel everything down the left so heavily. And I think that's why, and credit to Mikel, fair enough, I think that's why he has pushed Saka out to the right-hand side, because Saka is so talented that he can take the game by the scruff of a neck and make something happen on his own. He reminds me of Alexis Sanchez a lot in that way. But when I look at these pass maps that you've got up there now, it's just massively fraudulent. It's just massively fraudulent. I've got some stats up comparing them to Odegaard. In 27, let me just get it exactly. I think it's 27 minutes. He's already got 10% of hold on, let me get some stat fraudulence. Get out of the way.
Arsenal's forward passes or something.
Forward passes. Willian, in terms of team play and attacking, in his Premier League career for Arsenal, he's played 74 passes forward and 171 passes backwards. And it's no surprise when you look at that map.
Odegaard looks really good. I mean, is there a reason why he's not involved more?
So I think I was really, really happy earlier on when you mentioned Emile Smith-Rowe's poor run of games, because I think we are so guilty as football fans of gassing up our young players. It's football banter at the end of the day. I was tweeting Croydon Figo and Croydon De Bruyne when he was in form, but ultimately we need to be realistic. He's had a couple of good games against some lesser sides, and against some tougher opponents, he's had a couple of bad games. He's young. We have to give him time to adapt to taking the pressure coming into that role and making it his own. I think he is not got the confidence yet to ask for the ball. He kind of gets into these decent positions, and nobody passes to him. He's not demanding the ball enough. And like you said, this is where I question Mikel Arteta the most, because I can see that. You can see that. Why is he picking him? I understand, fair enough, you maybe don't want to knock his confidence. If you're Emile Smith-Rowe and you think, well, here comes Odegaard on a 6-month loan, I've played really well. I've now had a couple of bad games and straight away I'm on the bench. I get that. But this is a Premier League. You know, you have to take the game by the scruff of the neck. You have to perform consistently. And Emil Smith-Rowe's looked really leggy and been quite poor the last couple of games. I'm quite excited for Odegaard. I think he is he must start, in my opinion, in the next game. Because the one thing that he does is the polar opposite of Emil Smith-Rowe is he asks for the ball, he demands the ball. He seems a bit like an Ozil type that's got a bit more presence about him. I know his physicality's been kind of questioned, but ultimately he kind of demands the ball, and he's made a couple of incredibly good passes and arguably should have scored in the game against Villa. But I just think the fixtures are going to get too much for us here. I think if you look at our next run of games, I think someone said it on a super chat earlier, Leeds is our next game. I'm kind of worried about that game, to be honest. It's
That's the biggest game of the season, man.
Could go really badly.
Listen, man, I want to rack your brains and get your opinions on the refereeing, which has been pointed to a lot over the last couple of weeks, especially after David Luiz's red card against Wolves. It's not the first time that it's happened, and it has basically been blamed as something that is costing Arsenal massively. Now, what did you think about that example specifically, and in general? Do you think there is like an agenda against Arsenal, or is that just a mythical like thing that fans have convinced themselves?
Yeah, I think that's when you start talking about agendas against your football club. I think you just kind of start clutching at straws. I don't really accept that. I would say, and the reason I don't accept that is because if that is true, that is ridiculous. It's meant to be a fair sport. You're meant to put your best 11 players out on the pitch and perform. The decisions recently have been really, really questionable. I've done a lot of research actually because of these refereeing decisions. It's particularly into the use of VAR after these couple of results that we've had. The one thing I want to quickly bring up is the fact that I've seen comments on social media of Mike Dean getting death threats and people talking about his family and all that.
Crazy.
That's absolutely crazy. And it comes back to this kind of social media football banter, kind of a pandemic that we have going on social media. It's so dangerous for people to have a free platform to speak their mind freely and have no repercussions. Anybody that's accusing a referee of giving a decision away and then threatening the lives of their family and all sorts, you're not a fan of football. You're a horrible human being. I just wanted to make that point crystal clear. But have you seen this Peter Walton guy?
Yes. This is the guy on BT Sport where they got he's always doing the cheerleading for the officials. It's quite fraudulent. It's quite annoying as well.
He's kind of picked as this veteran, you know, this kind of referee Bible, the way that they get on BT Sport. Like you said, I'm not paying Sky an extra £30 a month to see that fraudulence. He has said that it's not the responsibility of VAR to referee the game. Now, that is correct. However, 2 seconds before saying that, he said that VAR should get involved when the referee has made a clear and obvious error. Now, the red card that David Luiz had, in my opinion, the referee's made a clear and obvious error. First of all, we need to question David Luiz because David Luiz is responsible himself solely because he got pulled out of position. You're 33 years old. You should stick in your position.
It's important to remember that. It is important to remember that. Yeah.
It's as much as fans want to jump on, there's agendas. David Luiz, had he been in his position, would have never ended up in that circumstance. The problem I have is that there was meant to be this kind of double jeopardy rule that they talked about where, it's too harsh to give a kind of red card. I don't agree with the refereeing talk about, remember going back to the Chelsea game when he clearly brought Abraham to the ground.
Yeah.
He's made an attempt to play the ball. It seems quite harsh to send them off for that because ultimately Tammy Abraham had a tap-in. The referee then said, that Peter Walton geezer said, he's not made an attempt to play the ball. He's not even attempted to make any kind of challenge. Therefore, he must go off. You can't send someone off for walking or running on a pitch. It's just, it doesn't make any sense. Now, again, I've done a bit of research. That is the law in the ref's book. It needs to be changed because that's what's causing so much problems.
Right. So it's not the VAR, it's the laws.
It's the laws of the game. The laws of the game state that if a Premier League player or a player in general doesn't make an attempt for the ball, he can still be sent off. Now, in the clip of Luiz catching up with Willian Jose, Willian Jose's right or left leg clips David Luiz's knee. And again, it's one of these things where you question, look, David Luiz, he's past you. Just Bernd Leno's in pretty good form. Maybe he makes a save, just let him go. Don't get so tight. At the end of the day, you're not some kind of Sol Campbell type slide round the side of him and clear the ball. Just let it go, and we would have had 11 men on the pitch still. But the law needs to change. Where I really start to get frustrated with VAR, and I'll just end off here, is what happened against Lacazette and Emi Martinez. And this is when Peter Walton made the comment about the fact that the referee or VAR doesn't referee the game, which again is correct. However, it's meant to be involved when there's a clear and obvious error. And Emi Martinez, who's my keeper, I miss that guy. Emi Martinez has got David Luiz in some kind of Russian leg sweep WWE madness and is hauling him to the ground. And Lacazette's got his hands in the air, just he's got his eyes on the ball the entire time. So if you're saying that David Luiz is getting sent off because he's made no attempt to make a challenge for the ball, why is Emi Martinez, who's making no attempt to run out and jump up for the ball, not getting looked at, never mind red card, not getting looked at for a foul on Lacazette? VAR is being used incorrectly because the referees don't understand where they should be using it. And to finish off, I think the only way that gets better is if on television we hear what's happening. I've seen you retweeted something, and I think it's on Australia.
Yes, that's right, Australian League, yeah.
Yeah, you hear the referee, you hear, okay, we're going to pull it back to here because we believe there's been serious foul play. Here comes blah, 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 blah. And if you could hear that out, you wouldn't have people overreacting so much. You would have people understanding why these decisions are being made. And I think there's a lot of people calling for, like referee suspension and so on and so forth. I think something as simple as having referees do post-match interviews would be quite a nice step as well. Because ultimately the manager comes out of both teams after the end of the game, and so do some players. But the referee's been involved in that game as well. So whether the most senior member of the officiating team comes on and says, we had a fair game, there were some decisions made, here's the reasons why, I think it would just lead to being more transparent and get away from this kind of nonsense of having agendas against certain clubs and all that kind of thing.
Well, look, I think probably every club has fans who feel like they are the victims, as it were, of such bad officiating. But look, man, I mean, the Lacazette penalty or non-foul, the
Saka red card.
The challenges on Saka have started to get very, very strong.
Yeah.
He's potentially going to get his legs broken if they're not pulled up for it, because they clearly recognise him as Arsenal's main danger man now, and that is, he's a kid basically. So I do worry when I see that happening. And then the David Luiz thing has given people at least the ammunition for this game to say that this isn't quite what everyone else is having to deal with. In terms of consistency, it's a bit of a joke, and I can totally understand why people are irritated at not only the David Luiz double jeopardy or lack of situation, but also that Martinez Lacazette one. I think there is an argument to say that Lacazette was leaning into him, and that could then make Martinez do something, but it still doesn't change the fact that Martinez is pretty much punching him in the face whilst dragging him down to the ground.
Dragged him to the ground. If Lacazette's leaning into him, let go of his shirt and walk around him. You're a goalkeeper. Right. He's offside.
Now, the thing that I want to stress, though, is that that shouldn't detract from the facts. And the facts are that in terms of the football itself,
it's been awful.
Villa deserved to win that game, bro.
Yeah, 100%. And this is, again, I know there's a lot of people that want to get on, so I'll just be quick with this. This is the point that I made to you when we spoke, because we spoke before we last spoke when we lost 1-0 to Southampton, and that game in the Cup showed the naivety that Arteta has. Now, the fans were on this, you 5 clean sheets in a row, and oh my God, we're playing amazing football. The teams that we played ultimately have been pretty dreadful teams when we've got wins this season. The win against United and Chelsea, whilst yes, very impressive, both those oppositions didn't turn up on those days. The teams that we played and got a good run of wins against, like Newcastle, Crystal Palace and West Brom, They are teams that we're currently competing with. They're bottom half of the table teams. We should be beating those teams. This next run of games is the ones that we really need to pay close attention to. The 0-0 against United was interesting. We probably could have got something from that, but ultimately I think both fans would have been happy with a point from that game. Both fans probably feel they deserve to win that game. The Wolves game was an absolute joke. I have no idea how you're getting beat from 40 yards and you're trying to RKO the ball when you're outside the D. What are you doing? Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just... And again, seeing the Wolves game, just to quickly finish off on my scrutiny of Arteta, some of his second half substitutions were massively questionable. We had a player...
Well, they've ended up costing us, haven't they?
Well, look, Lacazette, in that game, when the red card come into play on the stroke of half-time, we moved to a 4-4-1, and Emile Smith-Rowe played false nine. Now, Lacazette's one of the best players in the league at holding people up and getting wide players involved with the play. That's why he's been starting ahead of Aubameyang, and that's the kind of play we would go off this season. I have no idea why he left Emile Smith-Rowe. Emile Smith-Rowe got 90 minutes that game. I have no idea why he got left on the pitch, because he was dreadful in that game. He offered little, and Lacazette showed a bit of something in that first half. He then brought Nicolas Pepe, who I thought was the best player on the pitch, off for Aubameyang, when again Emile Smith-Rowe was knackered playing up top. And he played Aubameyang on the left, and he played Emile Smith-Rowe as a false nine in the pocket. And his final substitution, I can't even remember who it was for. I think it was the Runarsson one, of course. He brought on Arsenal. Just these small little things all add up to me to prove that learning on the job's not good enough for this club. You can't be making rash decisions like that.
Where we're going, it's looking a little bit like Mikel Arteta is going to have to be placed on fraud watch for this week.
Oh yeah, definitely. He's definitely not getting into the late night fraudulence Hall of Fame.
Sad scenes. You hate to see it. Listen, man, much love for calling in. Always absolutely legendary. You will be one of the first names on the Hall of Frauds team sheets. Undoubtedly so. That is something that's got to be earned. If you do want to get involved, all you got to do is join the Discord, get in the queue, and we can have a little chinwag. My fraudulent friends, it is time for me to love you and leave you. I've been on for 3 hours, and you have failed to hit your target of 3,000 likes. Next time, you will learn the hard way. Tough love, my sons. For now, though, I'm going to love you and leave you. It has been an absolute pleasure talking to you. I will be back on a regular occurrence with more late night fraudulence for that ass. But for now, just to say, if you want to win yourself a £50 Amazon gift card, all you got to do is follow the For the People podcast on Instagram. Give us a follow over there. We are choosing one winner every week. The new show went out yesterday. Make sure you give it a goosey gander. Let us know your thoughts as well. We can make some improvements. But for now, as I say, I'm going to love you and leave you. Much love to everyone that has tuned in. You've all been massive legends. For now, though, my name's Hughwizzy, and this has been a lot of fun. Peace, guys.